are having issues with it. We're live, just so you know. I just clicked the live button. But where are you from?
Chicago.
Damn, the connection just lagged out. You jumped off your Wi-Fi, probably. Okay,
Oh
sorry,
yeah.
I can't hear you. The Wi-Fi just, yeah. No, you're good. Tell me where you're at right now. Georgia, nice. I love Georgia. What part, Atlanta or where?
Again.
Georgia, Savannah, Atlanta.
Oh, so I actually live like 45 minutes away from Atlanta. Like I like Ackworth and shit like that. I'm trying to move closer to Atlanta just because of the shit that I got going on. You know. Fuck, it's hot as fuck here. Jesus.
Yeah, I
But
noticed
yeah,
you've been
no,
in the Discord
that's
a
what I do
minute.
now.
I'm guessing you probably just seen one of my live streams and joined in.
Yeah, I saw one of the lives that you had, and you was like, because I was in the comment section talking about like the Trump stuff and shit like that, and I was like, I mean, obviously, you see what I be typing in the chat. I try to be as active, obviously, because I got work and shit like that. But yeah, no, I am very. I mean, obviously, I consider myself. I mean, actual leftist, not liberal, but leftist. Um, yeah, I consider myself democratic socialist. That's some shit. So
Democrat, socialist. Okay, yeah.
yeah,
That's cool. I had someone on the other day. They're like, "Oh, I'm liberal. I'm not a leftist." I guess you guys really like to separate yourselves, huh?
it's not even a separation, really. It's just a classification of what we really support in, right? Because when you look at liberals, most liberals align themselves more with actual Democrats. Most leftists don't really associate, like a true leftist, like me personally. Like obviously, I'll sit up here and I'd say like, hey, clearly you guys are misinformed. Biden did this, Biden did that. I don't consider myself a supporter of Biden or Kamala personally. They're more like centralist. So and a lot of people. Oh yeah, most of them. Oh yeah, 100%. Kamala is one of the most centralist presidents we've ever had. Like, or at least was going to. It was. Well,
President?
sorry, that was a misspeak. Uh, yeah, Kamala was one of the most centralist candidates we've ever had. Joe Biden was, in fact, very centralist. Um, yeah, most Democrats are anti-left.
It's funny because I actually think that Trump is a centralist, but you probably don't think that, obviously.
So I mean,
Extremely
even
on the right. I'll be
yeah, or not
honest with
extra,
you.
like dead center, I guess, in the right, like moderate right.
Moderate right. I can't really think of any U.S. politician that is extremely right. Like,
I
yeah, I mean,
mean,
if Trump was extremely right, this is an example. Here's an example. We're talking about, like I was asking you about immigration and stuff. If I thought Trump was extremely right, I'll be honest. I don't think he'd be giving people like $1,000 to self deport and a free plane ticket home. That doesn't sound like extremely right. Like if you're extremely right, it sounds like you would just like kick them the hell out of the country. You wouldn't give them $1,000 to deport. You wouldn't give them a plane ticket home. You would just like drop them off like outside of the Mexican border and be like, "All right, walk home." That to me seems like extreme right. Like I know he's like tough on deportations and stuff like that, but I think it could be like a lot tougher. I mean, I have photos of the ICE detention centers of under Obama and Biden saved on my phone. I mean, I don't know if you want to see a picture of them, but they look a lot worse than like facilities like the Alligator Alcatraz that just got built. I mean, like it's like with jails. If you're in a jail that's like 20, 30, 40 years old, it's a lot worse than like a new jail in the most parts because like even cleanness, I mean, I know you can say Alligator Alcatraz just got flooded, this and that. I mean, I don't know. I didn't see any photos of it, to be honest with you, but maybe it did get flooded. I'm from Florida, so like a lot of places do get flooded. Like I can see that happening, but like even if it did get flooded, it's not necessarily like, the people's fault that it got flooded. I mean, like, places in Florida get flooded all the time, like it's literally the swamp.
Thing too about it, um, a lot of alligator, like, and I do like agree, like, yeah, sure, that might not seem very right, but you also got to take a look at the circumstances, right? Trump, for the most part, has gotten extreme amounts of back like pushback regarding the immigration stuff. We know that most corporations depend on immigrants to employ that they employ to help build factories or build buildings in general,
I don't know how true
farm
that is,
things and stuff
but
like that.
definitely
Oh yeah, that's
agriculture.
100% true.
But I
That's
don't know
very true.
about
Well, yeah,
like
for agriculture, yeah.
factories and stuff like that.
For
I
factories,
mean,
you
I
didn't
actually
see
did
about.
look up on Google before. I think I might have the numbers right here on my phone. Maybe I can see because I got my older phone right here. But I did look it up before. Like it said, a lot of people, even the agriculture industry, are like on work permits and stuff like that. But I mean, I understand there's a lot of illegals that do work in agriculture, and not just agriculture, but construction, obviously, and stuff like that. But if Trump was so right wing, he wouldn't be saying like, "Oh, I can help like these legal immigrants that have been working on." Like you heard that thing where he said he's going to help out some of the illegal immigrants so the farmers don't got to lose some of their workers, and he's not going to deport all those people. Like he said, he is mostly after criminals. I know he did deport people that don't have like a big felony record and stuff like that, but like for the most part, I think he's going after a lot of the criminals. But I'm trying to find the screenshots I took of the whole thing about. It's okay. It's okay. Do what you got to do. If you need to take a break or something, let me know.
Base, uh, their large majority of them, or at least a majority of them, at least, are all business owners, right? So when you have your base that are heavily affected by policies that you recently put in a way that is, like, obviously that's going to affect your base the most. Your base is going to complain about it the most. So you're going to have to do something about
I'll
it
be
fast.
honest. I don't
So he
think.
did do something about it, which is why he backpedaled on that. Because that's the thing about his whole his reign currently. He's been constantly pedaling back on most of the shit that he's been coming out with because, it's literally not working.
Okay, can I respond now? Or you got some more stuff to say? I don't want to interrupt you. Yeah, no, I understand. Like a lot of people are saying he's backpedaling, but like I don't know what like people are saying he's backpedaling on. I mean, he said since day one that he's gonna focus on deporting mostly criminals and people who have done bad things, beat their wives. I mean, even this is a whole other argument. We can talk about Abrego Garcia if he was an MS-13 member or not. That really doesn't matter. The thing that is a proven fact is that his wife said that he beat her, and she went to court. All the documents are there. She said the only reason she didn't continue with the motion to file criminal charges against him is because they quote unquote went to therapy together, and he like became a better person from therapy. So yeah, he didn't get criminal charges or anything because she said she didn't want to pursue any criminal charges because she took him to therapy and he's better or not. Okay, who gives a damn? The facts are that he beat on her. Like even if he's not an MS-13 member, even if he's not involved with any trafficking of anything, like even if he isn't all these things that people argue say he is or not, the documents are there. The court documents are there. Her statements are there. The videos of her are there of her crying and saying that she's scared of him and stuff like that. And then like she goes back on what she said. She's like, "Oh no, actually, we went to therapy together, so now I don't want to charge him against anything like that. I don't want to take him to court or anything like that." And when it comes to what you said before about going like back on his what he's saying, I don't know what he's gone back on. I mean, I think you guys are just talking about tariffs and stuff like that. That's all uh, moves for negotiations and stuff like that. That's also it can get some negotiations going and different stuff like that. And like when it comes to the thing about the farmers, he never said anything about construction workers either. This was just for farmers. I mean, I some of my friends work in construction sites. I mean, there's illegal immigrants there, sure, but there's a lot of hard work. I would say the majority of people that are like working in construction and stuff like that, or at least like I mean, in Florida, there's a lot of illegal immigrants, but there's the majority of people that are working on these things are actually American citizens. And same thing with the I mean, yes, there's a high percentage of illegal immigrants that work in farms and stuff like that. But first off, there a lot of them aren't even getting correct wages. They're not getting livable wages. They're not even getting minimum wage, which I think is pretty much like slavery. Like to be honest with you, and I think that's why all people are like, oh, we got to keep the prices low. We got to keep the prices low. So we should basically have legal slavery so we can keep the prices low. That makes no sense. That sounds like a horrible thing to me. If you guys want us to talk about something specific, though, you can drop super chats. We'll talk about whatever you guys want. Oh, he disappeared. I don't know what happened. If you guys have any questions or comments or anything you want us to talk about, drop some super chats. Let me know where you guys are coming from, what city, what state. If there's anything you guys want to say, let me know. Anything anyone wants to say? Any questions? He did have an MS-13 tattoo on his hand, but for the sake of this argument, we can just pretend that it was not. I said it's almost like slavery. I didn't say it was actual slavery. It's actually closer to indentured slaves than actual slavery. Oh, here you are. You're
I'm
back.
I'm sorry, my bad. My phone, it is so fucking hot in Georgia that my shit literally fucking turned off.
No, it's okay. I understand. My
Fuck,
phone does that
man.
all the time.
I'm probably just gonna go back home because I was gonna do something real quick, but whatever. But I'm sorry about that. Um,
No, it's okay.
I know I remember I don't remember exactly where you left off. I know we were talking about Abrego Garcia.
Did you hear what I
So Mar.
said? And did you hear what I said about how the farmers, a lot of them, don't even get minimum wages? I mean, someone said in the comments, "Oh, slavery is forced labor." I mean, if you know anything about slavery, there was such thing as indentured slaves, which they just worked for pennies. They didn't have enough money to actually even afford anything for themselves. That's pretty much like these a lot of these illegal immigrants working on farms. And the Democrats will say, well, we got to keep them doing that. That way we can keep our food prices low. We got to keep our food prices low. First off, I don't think that even keeps our food prices low. What about all the homegrown farmers? What about all those farmer markets? They don't hire like illegal immigrants to work in their farms. They just have like their family or them or other workers working in the farm.
Yeah,
And
because
those farmer
those are
markets.
mainly businesses like I said earlier. Usually businesses are usually impacted the most.
Yeah, but farmers
Stuff like that,
markets
like
are
local
businesses
businesses, like
too.
farmers markets and stuff. Because I understand what you're talking about. Because they have farmers markets down here in Georgia, especially if you go to like the really gentrified areas, like in Roswell and even like East Atlanta too. There's some East Atlanta as well, where you see a bunch of like farmers markets and stuff like that. But yeah, they don't usually hire. They don't hire. It's all community grown, and it's mainly actually white women that actually own those. So yeah,
Yeah,
but I
and
get
the
what you're
prices
saying.
aren't as high as even the grocery store. I mean, at least what I see in Florida, the prices are actually like lower than like the grocery store. And people are saying, "Oh, we need to keep these illegal immigrants and pay them like pennies on the dollar compared to regular workers, so we can actually, keep the food prices low." I don't think that's. I don't think the thing is, I don't think those paying those illegal immigrants a non-livable wage is keeping the food prices any lower because I think the companies are just absorbing all that extra money. Like they're just profiting more. You know what I'm saying? They're
Uh,
not actually like making the food any cheaper.
Not necessarily. I think you're probably confusing the two. A lot of people, well, the reason why a lot of these companies are able to pay illegal immigrants so much low raises, especially if they're illegal, because think about it, they can't complain to anybody about how they're being paid because they're illegal. They can't complain to the Department of Labor. They can't they can't complain to anybody. So they have to be given these low wages, and instead, like, these corporations, they end up making more money because they're employing if illegal immigrants, right? If
Yeah,
the
we're agreeing
immigration
then.
process was easier and faster, these people would not be able to what's the word? These people
They
would not
wouldn't be
be
able to
able
mistreat them or underpay them. But
exactly. So that's why
I
I'm
saw there
saying that's
was
why
a
I
visa
say
for. Sorry to interrupt you. Continue.
no, no, you're good. I was just saying, like, that's why I say, like I know we were talking about earlier. Um, I personally don't believe in any sort of. I don't believe in borders. Like, as a socialist, I don't believe in any borders, like, at all, personally. But if I could have it one way, I could have it to where actual comprehensive border laws, where instead of hyping up border patrol, hyping up ICE, so these people can enforce terror amongst populations of people more, they can instead put more judges in, so people are able to be judged if their claim of asylum is faster.
Yeah, no, I agree with you on the thing you said about fixing the immigration system. That's something that we agree on. And I heard there was a visa. It's called like I think an H-4B visa. I think it's called. It's just like a visa that takes 45 days if you have a sponsorship and an employer. He can get you this work visa. It just takes like 30 to 45 days to apply for this and process it. But no, I agree with you on fixing the process, but there's no way in the hell I would ever agree on open borders because I know you're gonna say, oh, Epstein, this and that. Yeah, I'm against all that Epstein crap. But like the main
Yeah, I know
problem
you
with
guys
open
are. I don't want
borders,
to. I know a lot of people. I don't. I hate bringing it up, but the Trump base is very much in shambles over the Epstein
I disagree, but
logs and
I'm just
stuff.
talking about something else that's not even relating to Epstein. But the reason I bring
Oh,
up
okay, yeah.
Epstein is because a lot of human trafficking happens at open borders. That was the main problem with the Biden administration. I mean, I don't know if you believe they had big open borders, but I think they had like way more open borders than Obama or any U.S. president in history. And also, you said you're for open borders and you don't like ICE and you don't like deportations, but what about all the deportations and all the stuff that Biden and Obama did? And like, you seem like you support them, but when I bring up
Uh,
this, like, I don't know.
well, yeah. So I wanted to speak about that too, because a lot of that is also a lot of people confuse the two. Uh, Obama and Biden used a process called expedited removal,
Yeah, that was
which
from
is a
Bill Clinton.
process that it entails that you can in fact remove people on an expedited or pretty much in a sped up way, but it still uses due process.
But they
Most
don't have a
people are
court
not
hearing or
complaining
an
about the
immigration
fact that they're
hearing.
deporting people. They're deporting people without giving them due process. You're literally just black bagging people in the street,
Yeah, but
carrying
what is
them
due
to whatever bus
process
or
to the
plane or whatever, and
Democratic
then dropping
Party?
them off in the middle of nowhere, uh, and telling them pretty much to go fuck off or do whatever. My language, excuse my language, but that's what they're pretty much saying. They're
Yeah, but
backbagging
what
people in the middle
is
of the street. And.
I have a question though for you. What is due process to you? Is due process like the process by the law, or is due process a court hearing or an immigration hearing? What is due process to you?
I mean, what she just said. It's a actual hearing. They take you. You are arrested. You're told your rights. You are brought to court. They then they then lay out your charges to say, hey, this is why you're here. Blah 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 XYZ. Whatever how the process goes, right? And then it's found out if your claim of whether it be regular immigration or just straight up uh, um,
Using the
asylum
system.
is yeah if it's okay or not, and then you're whatever, right?
I'm glad you bring
That's
that up
it's
because did you
actually
know
being able to be
expedited
brought to court.
removal has no court hearings and no immigration
No, no,
hearings?
no, no, no. Expedited
That's not a
removal.
part of the expedited
Expedited
removal.
removal does have due process.
No,
And
it
it's
does not
also in
have
the
court
law.
hearings. You know what expedited removal is, right? If they catch you within, I mean, I know this is kind of ridiculous. I think it's like 100 miles or 200 miles. Like if you just cross over the border 100 miles in, they can remove you out of the country with no due process. That's why it's called expedited removal. I mean, technically it's its own due process, but you have no court hearing, no immigration hearing. I mean, I have a screenshot of the expedited removal thing. I can probably pull it up here and show you on screen, but I gotta
Yeah, you
find
can
it
if you
first.
can. But
But
I mean,
yeah,
that's
there's
what
a
I'm
part
saying.
of it
Like
that says no
it's
court hearing.
even if there is not a any
Court hearing.
actual court laws or any a court hearing involved, it's still work. It's still in the it's an actual law. It's they did it legally. People are
Well, so is
complaining
the
that
Aliens
what
Enemies
he's
Act.
doing
That's
is
also a
illegal.
law.
I'm sorry.
I said the Alien Enemies Act. That is also a law.
And he also violated that as well. He's broken several laws in the
How did
process
he
since he's been
violate that?
in office. Well, the enemy, what is it called? The
Alien
illegal.
Enemies Act.
Yes, it is. It is specifically entailed that in order for that to be a sufficient law, sufficient
An
act of
invasion?
because pretty yeah, act to be activated correctly. I don't know like the terminology, whatever, but pretty much you have to be at war, or it has to be like an actual, um, like an actual war, some sort of threat of violence from another country to be involved.
It doesn't
There is
say
no
about
threat
it.
of violence from any
It
country
says,
at
here's what it
all.
says. It says an act of war. Yeah, that part is correct. An act of war or an act of invasion. If you look up the legal definition of invasion, it fits the legal definition of invasion.
So
It
you
fits
believe we're
the
being
what's
invaded by what, like 8 or 9 countries at one time?
yes. If you look up the word invasion, if you look up the definition of invasion, it fits the definition of invasion. That is just facts. It fits the
So,
definition of invasion. Wouldn't you say if, millions of people from another country, all in a specific group, come in and go through the border at one time? They're literally running at the border in groups of tens of thousands, entering the country under President Joe Biden. You don't think that is an invasion?
no, because they came in. Most of these people came in through means of. I forgot. I literally just said it earlier. Jesus Christ, my mind is slipping. Um, I forgot what it's called.
I'm trying to find the picture I
Oh,
took
I
of
don't remember. My mind is everywhere, but no, it's not an invasion. There's no
the Expedited Removal Act. I'm
sort of
trying to find
violence
a
that's
screenshot of it.
currently going on with immigrants.
It doesn't matter if it's violence or not. The word in the Alien Enemies Act just says, a war or an invasion. It doesn't specify anything about violence or anything like
So,
that.
so, so, I'm confused. Right? I grew up playing video games. I've been a huge video game like person. In order
This is
for
not. It doesn't have
invasion
to be
to
World
happen,
War
there needs
Three
to be some.
invasion.
My interpretation of an invasion would classify some sort of violence to back that. There is no violence backing
Well,
an
I
invasion,
understand
so
that that's how you
I wouldn't
feel, but
classify
the
immigrants moving
definition of
in.
invasion, the definition of invasion, when you look it up on Webster's dictionary or any dictionary, it doesn't say anything about violence.
Okay, can you please
Because
look that
this
up
is
for me?
not Black Ops 4. This is not Black Ops,
No,
like,
I'm not that young. I grew up more on Black Ops 2 and original Black Ops. But if you can look that
Yeah,
up,
no,
that'd
I
be
grew up
great.
on Black Ops 2 and Black Ops 1 as well, but I'm just saying, like, it doesn't say anything about, like, having any violence or anything like that. But I'm actually trying to find the Expedited Removal Act right now, if I can actually even find it, because I have so many screenshots on my phone.
Yeah, if you give me a second, that'd be. I need to do something real quick. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'll give you a second. If you guys have any questions, any comments, anything you want me to talk about, drop some super chats. Let me know where you guys are coming from. Hell yeah, guys. Hit that like button, subscribe. If you have any questions for us, he's a leftist. I'm a Democrat. He had to pause his camera for a second. But if you guys have any questions or anything debate topic wise you want us to talk about, let me know. Let me know, guys. Leftist versus Maga. Any questions, any debate topics, we can get it going. Just drop some super chats. I want to hear some questions about whatever you guys want to talk about.
Yeah, my bad. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. I'm still trying to find it honestly, but I remember reading it multiple times. And besides, like, do you support the expedited removal thing if it says about no court hearings and no immigration? I mean, it says like 100 miles from the border that they can do that without any court hearings or anything.
But yeah, but what I'm saying is, it still was a legal process. What Trump is currently doing is illegal. That's what
And some people said, if it's illegal, then why did the Supreme Court say it's good to go?
the Supreme Court said this was okay to do.
Yeah, it went to Supreme Court the first time, and they put a pause on it so they can take a look into it. And then it went. They got rid of the Alien Enemies Act for like a month or two, I believe. It was like a couple months back, and then a month later they went back to the Supreme Court and they sided in favor of the Alien Enemies Act, and they said it's good to go. It's constitutional or whatever, federally legal.
Every and it was, what was it voted? Was it voted 9-0, or was it voted
I don't know the votes, to be honest. Just
Yeah,
know
because there
they
are conservative.
won.
I mean, like I said, this is the same Supreme Court that voted 9-0 that Trump was doing, illegally deported Kilmar Abrego Garcia. So, and
Exactly.
also,
So
I don't
if
remember
they
the
say
other
this
one,
is
but the other
valid, then it should be
Palestinian.
valid, right?
I'm sorry.
Like you just said, they just voted against Trump multiple times, so you can't even use the excuse saying that they're siding with Trump or
That's what I'm
stuff
saying.
like
If this
this.
is the same, this is the same Supreme Court that also said that this was okay, then I don't know. Maybe, I mean, like I said, it clearly is not that way. Um, but it is what it is.
I'm still trying to find that expedited removal act. Holy Christ, I have so many photos. I don't know where it is.
Also, shout out to well, not shout out this fool, but shout out to fucking Ozzy Osbourne, man. As a punk rocker, um I can support metalheads, man, and Ozzy Osbourne. Even though he was a Zionist, I fuck with Black Sabbath. So shout out to him.
Tell Okay, this is
Oh,
nothing
man.
against you. I don't think you're a nerd, but I'm gonna
No,
read
I'm
this
reading
comment
it, and
out
it's
loud.
funny because this is completely not true. But go ahead. He's a fucking idiot.
Tell the nerd that you can't have an open borders and be a welfare state. They're stealing our aid for the homeless and vets and poor people. I 100% agree. R.I.P. Ozzy Osbourne. Yeah.
I find it funny because
And we agree on a lot
they're
more things
stealing
than you
our aid,
believe.
but they also contribute close to $100 billion worth of taxes every year. So
Even if
how are
they,
they
even if
stealing, but they're also contributing more than they steal?
three things actually. First thing is, even if they contributed, trillions of dollars, I really wouldn't make a difference. We shouldn't incentivize people to come here illegally because every
I'm sorry, I'm confused. Sorry to cut you off, but you say even if they contribute trillions of dollars, which, I mean, like I said, they contribute about, I believe the number was $94 billion a year in
yeah.
taxes that they contribute. Um, I'm kind of confused about deporting them. How would
Here's
that
another fun
correlate?
fact: the top 1% pays like 85 to 90% of all the taxes anyway. So like,
I
I
That's
know
also not true at
it is
all.
true. Look it up on
You
Google.
said
Who pays
the
the
top
majority of
one
the
percent. You
taxes?
said the top 1%.
Yeah, the top, maybe
That's
not the top
definitely false.
1%, maybe the
That
top
is,
10%.
as a
The top
as
10%
a
pays the
punk
majority of
rocker
the
and as a
taxes.
socialist, that is completely fucking false. I'm
No, it
sorry.
is 100% accurate because you got to think about it. How much more money is $1 million than $50,000? Just think about it statistically. And people that like own stocks, whenever you sell a stock, there's not really too many ways you can get around capital gains taxes. When it comes to businesses and stuff like that, yeah, there's a lot of ways you can get around paying taxes on your business. But when it comes to like capital gains taxes, I mean Nancy Pelosi, the stealing Democrat, she can't even get away from not paying taxes on those hundreds of millions of dollars because it's very, very difficult.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. That's like, yeah, obviously you can't avoid paying those sort of taxes, right? But when we talk about broad taxes, the bottom 99%, especially middle class, lower middle class, or upper class people, pay the majority of taxes. Me and you and I'd say a majority of the people in the chat. all pay more taxes than the top 1%. Jeff
Yes,
Bezos,
it's
Mark
true. A lot of
Zuckerberg.
top 1% people avoid paying taxes. I agree with you 100%. But just the sheer amount of money that the top 1% make, like a millionaire, you have to break it down. What is like a million divided by 50,000? That's probably like, let me think about it. That is literally 200. So every person that just makes $1 million a year, that's 200 regular tax paying people. So with those kinds of numbers, and then you got to think about the people that make $10 million a year. That's equal to 2,000 average taxpayers. Then the people that make, $100 million. I don't even know what that is equivalent to at that point. That's probably like 200,000 average taxpayers. And there's a lot of multimillionaires. But two things I can suggest for you to do some research on. I'll actually try to pull it up right now to see if I can give you sources for the information. Like, I know it sounds sickening. I know socialists will hate this when you bring it up and say, "Oh, the top 1% pays the majority of the taxes." And I know it's
No,
sickening
I'm
to.
not. I'm hearing what you're saying, but I'm just ignoring it because it's simply not true. But I mean, you can keep
Well, let me
going. That's
let me
fine.
find a source for it. If I'm gonna look it up right now. If I'm wrong, I'll be honest about it and say, "Okay, you're right."
Also, can you mind bringing up all those other sources you said that were apparently true? I appreciate that. No shit.
The ones about the expedited removal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sure. I'll pull that up after. I'm just gonna Google this. Does the rich pay most of the taxes in the USA? Okay, here is the facts. You want it? You ready for the facts? This is by
All right.
usafacts.org. You ready for this? You ready for the
Okay.
information?
All right.
Most of the federal government income tax revenue comes from the nation's top income earners. In 2022, the top 5% earners, people with incomes above $250,000 and above, collectively pay 1.3 trillion in income taxes, or about 61% of the national total. So maybe I said, what did I say? I said like they pay around 80 to 90% of the tax. That's not that those numbers weren't 100% accurate, but it is a fact that the top 5% do pay the most taxes.
And you said, and that stat said that
The
20
top the a
a quarter
million
of something. I'm
people that
sorry,
make
quarter
more than a
million.
quarter million a year are paying. People that make a quarter million a year and above are paying the majority of the taxes in America.
Is there a specific percentage of
Yeah, they
people?
pay 61% of the total taxes.
And that's collective. That is collectively that they do, or
Collectively,
is
they
it a
paid over
specific?
1.3 trillion in income tax. Yes.
Because I get what you're saying, but I kind of, I mean, maybe it's just me. Like I said, I don't consider myself the smartest personally, but that kind of sounds like it is much like collectively they all pay about 60%,
No, it's
not
not
each of them. You know what I
60%.
mean?
Yeah, no, they don't. It's not about how much they pay. Like, I'm not saying they pay 60% of their income. I'm saying that they pay 61% of the national debt. I mean, the national total, not the debt. Sorry, the national total. That means they pay more than half of all the taxes in the country. People that make $250,000 or more. And like I said, I'm telling you to do your own research as well because But I
I
100%
mean,
believe that because you
I
got to.
get what you're saying. I think, and then like I said, but or like I was, and then also like I'm saying, maybe it's just me, but like uh I see if you make a quarter of a million in income, you are taxed more. But then what if these people who do, if you actually work, we look at people like Jeff Bezos, we look at people like
Yeah, Jeff Bezos
Zuckerberg.
obviously
This
doesn't
is
get
wealth. That's
taxes,
old money, or not old money, but these are people with exorbitant amounts of money, and they're making more money each year,
and they don't
and they
pay
most likely don't
taxes.
work. So how do you
I
tax
understand.
them if they don't just necessarily have a job?
Well, Jeff Bezos is taxed every time he sells Amazon stock, but he's just not taxed on his business profits because there's many loopholes. And if even if we got rid of all these well, let me read this chat because Ozzy did drop a chat, and I know we're talking about something else right now. We'll get back to this financial subject, about the taxes in a second.
Yeah,
But
because like I said, I'm
RIP.
personally not the smartest, so we could act
Yeah,
like
no, I
I
don't know
would
everything either.
100%.
I
Yeah.
don't really understand the tax system. I'm gonna be honest. If I don't know something, you can tell me. Anyone in the chats can tell me.
Yeah,
But
and also
Ozzy
I'm
Osbourne
sorry
guy.
for this guy in the comments section. I do actually owned a business at one time. It was called Helsing. I graduated with a fashion degree in fashion
Cool,
design for four
man.
years. I
I
have a
love fashion
bachelor's.
design.
So obviously, I do have a company. And you should buy some of my clothes. Support the
Hell yeah.
cause.
Plug yourself. But
So,
Ozzy
but
said,
yes, I actually there is a lot, and I mean a lot, of loopholes to pay the minimal amount of taxes as possible. Um, so I mean, like I said, I keep seeing this stuff, and it's just wrong, wrong, wrong. If you own a business and you're still paying a large amount of taxes, you're probably not just doing your taxes right. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro.
yeah,
Like I don't
I'll
know what
give
to
you
tell
an
you.
explanation on my opinions on the taxes and what I think about this. But I'm just gonna say this. Ozzy said the illegals make their money and send it, most of them, back home, and then when they don't have enough money, they leave and go back home and live large. That is kind of true. A lot of them do send their money back home, and then when they run out of money here, they just go back home and live there because it's a lot cheaper. A
I
hundred
mean,
percent agree.
I'm
When that's
obviously
just
I'm a
smart. That's just smart.
native born. I'm a native born American, descendant of a slave. I have ancestry to Africa, and I also have my great granddad is Dominican. He came here legally, and I send money
Nice.
back all the time back to DR. I mean,
Awesome.
most people if you are an immigrant and you have
Yeah,
direct
you send money
lineage
back
back
to
to
your
where
home.
you're from, you always send money back.
There's
So I
nothing
don't
wrong
know.
with that. I
Yeah, that's
never
what I'm
said
saying.
there's
Like, I
anything
think that's
wrong
a
with it.
stupid ass comment. Is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, everyone does
I
that.
don't
So
think
what's the
it's
point?
stupid, but anyway,
I mean,
let's get
shout out
back
to
to
you, man. I mean, like I said, you have the right to say whatever stupid shit you want to, and that's fine. But
let's get
I
back to
mean, yeah, yeah, yeah. Go ahead,
the
sorry.
tax
No, I'm not
subject.
saying to
So
you. I'm talking to that guy. Yeah, go ahead.
um yeah, let's get back to the tax subject. So you think people should be taxed more in America? I'll tell you why I
The
disagree with
rich.
you. I mean, first off, sold a Lubudu for 10K. What the hell is that?
Oh yeah, the Labubus. Yeah, them shits is. I'm seeing a bunch of people fucking sell Labubus. That's just
Yeah, this
crazy,
guy
bro.
literally he's getting like rich off that.
I mean, 10K. That's get a nice little Honda Civic or something like that. Something crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, that's wild, my guy. You told me about that before. He has this website that I can plug you for it if you want. I don't know if you can sell clothes on it or anything, but he said he opened his garage and he had like a whole bin full of them from like years and years ago. He just started
Mhm,
flipping them and making money. But back to the tax
mhm,
thing, yeah, I do agree that here's my opinion on taxes. I think everyone should pay a flat tax. Like I think everyone other than people that are making like under like 20,000, 30,000, maybe even 40,000 a year, depending where you live, should be paying a flat tax. I would make it flat tax across the board. I would make it if
mhm.
you're making $1 million a year, you pay 10%. If you're making 70,000 a year, you pay 10%. If you're making 100,000 a year, you pay 10%. But one thing I do not agree with is just raising the taxes like 40, 50, 60, 70, 80%. I can tell you why that's a horrible idea. I mean, you can say, oh, look at the 1950s. The rich people paid so much more in taxes. Well, we live in a completely different world than the 1950s. If they raise the taxes on the millionaires and the billionaires, or even people making 100 grand a year with small businesses, I mean, they have the option. They can just literally, like, we live in 2025. Everyone has smartphones. You can literally set up a new life for yourself in a tax-free country with a click of a button. You say, "Oh, I'm a millionaire, so I'm tired. The USA just made a flat tax for millionaires, 70%. Okay, fuck that. I'm just gonna click one button on my phone, purchase a house in Dubai, purchase a car in Dubai, set up a business in Dubai. They can literally just be clicking buttons on their phone and set up an entire life for themselves at a click of a button. Then they can fly over to Dubai in 15 hours, and there they got their new tax-free millionaire lifestyle set up. They can just
Mhm.
leave the country like that. If we raise the taxes for everyone, that's exactly what they're going to do. Now, the best, smartest economic plan for taxes, if you want it to be more fair, is my opinion about making a flat tax for everyone. like that's 10%, you know? Or I would, if it was up to me, I would do lower than 10%, but let's just
Uh,
say
I
10% because
mean,
I think that would be probably possible. If Jeff Bezos was paying 10%, if Bill Gates was paying 10%, yeah, I think it would be possible.
I know, like you said, I know you said like people talk about the 1950s and it's not the 1950s anymore. I understand that, right? But personally, like I said earlier, as a socialist, and especially like not even as a socialist, if you wanted to take out the ideals and all that stuff, right? As an American, as someone who's currently, I'm 27, right? Uh, I'm working, getting my own apartment pretty soon in Atlanta. As a person that is working and I work a regular job, I work 40 hours a week. I get paid on Friday like everyone else does. I think billionaires, people who may have $1 billion, should pay more regardless of anything, right? Because this is the thing about when it comes to like $1 million to $1 billion. And I want everybody in the comments to understand this. If you don't get anything else from this, I want you to understand this, right? I'm on your side, right? I don't. That's why I'm talking to you the way I'm talking to you because, like, yeah, sure, you're a Trump supporter. I think your ideals are flawed. I feel like your supporter, the person you support, is flawed. But the idea is $1 million to $1 billion is a massive gap, right? If you take a look at a million, like a million minutes, right? In order to get to 1 million minutes, it's 11 days. To get to 1 billion minutes, it is 37 years to get. No, I know. I'm sorry, not 37, 31 years. Still a long time, right? From 1 million minutes to 1 billion minutes is a massive gap. So why are we letting these people who make billions and billions of dollars a year? Elon Musk is the richest man on planet Earth. He has more money than pretty much there is people on planet Earth for the most part, right? Why are we letting him only pay 10% of taxes when he could literally solve every problem in the world?
Here's a fun fact about Elon. Do you want to know a fun fact about Elon's
Oh, I'm sorry, it's a
taxes?
million seconds. I'm sorry about that.
No, it's
Or like,
okay.
I think it's a million
You
seconds.
want to know a fun fact about Elon and his taxes? Do you want to know something? This
Yeah.
might break your mind when I tell you this.
Good.
Elon paid the most taxes in history. I think it was in 2023. He paid the most taxes out of any human in history. And also, the majority of taxes that Elon's paying is taxed at about a 24-25% rate because the majority of how he makes his money is from selling his a partial ownership in Tesla, which he has to pay the highest tax bracket for capital gains taxes. So that's 24, I think, percent and taxes he has to pay. So he paid the most taxes in history in 2023 or 2024, I believe it was. So more than Jeff Bezos, more than anyone in history ever. So I mean, Elon probably wasn't the best example because Elon definitely pays more taxes than Jeff Bezos and stuff like that. And what about the self-made billionaires? You don't think people that literally come from a third world country to billionaire level deserve their money? I mean, they either created something genius and for example, I mean, I don't know what you I mean, maybe you think all billionaires are evil, but here's an example. Mr. Beast, he's a YouTuber. He's the first, I mean, I believe one of the first billionaires from YouTube, and he's the only I mean, there's two self-made billionaires under 30. He's one of them. Mr. Beast was the first self-made billionaire under 30. Now, do you think people like Mr. Beast should be paying like way more in taxes? It's well documented. I think this man comes from a single parent household. Even, do you think he should be paying way more in taxes when he reinvested all of his money? Basically, had no money for years and years. Like he talks about it all the time. I'm not a giant Mr. Beast fan or anything like
Hmm.
that.
No, I
I
get what
mean,
you're
I
saying.
think he's a goofball. Personally, I don't really like his content, but he is a self-made billionaire. The comments are spamming. Yes, yes. Is it
I
jealous of his
agree with them.
money?
My short answer is yes. That's what I
So
agree.
if you do
Because this
better
is the
than
thing
everyone,
with
sacrifice
the
years of
idea
your
of.
life, you
I'm
should
sorry.
be rewarded with paying more taxes. Like how much more taxes? A lot more?
Oh, 100%. Well, a lot more. Because this is the
Like what
thing,
would you
right?
tax Mr. Beast?
This is the thing, right? You won at capitalism, right? That's the idea, right? Capitalism is pretty much like a ladder. You're stepping on people to get to the top. These small amount of people made it to the top.
people like I said earlier, Elon Musk, Mr. Beast, for this example, they won the idea of capitalism, right? You won. Why in the fuck not can you give your money back to actually to actually
First off,
help
I don't
people
think taxes
to
is giving. Do you think the government is a good steward of your money? Do you think they're doing great things with your money? I think it's funny when you're against things like deportation and some programs that are ran by the government using your taxpayer money that you highly disagree with, that you think that are a waste of money, but at the same time you want billionaires to give more money to the government so they can continue to run these programs like ICE, deportations, and stuff like that. And what
well,
other
yeah, I
programs you
can do
might be against?
I can like, you know what
Do
I
you think
mean?
the
I can
government
do
does a
both,
good
right?
job with your
I
money?
believe that things like ICE and things like um these programs are definitely not used the way that they're supposed to be used, but I also can believe that if you won at the idea of capitalism, you should give your money back. I can think
No, I
of
agree with you there. You should give your money back. I can 100% agree with you. But one thing I don't agree with is giving more money to the government because I know you think, oh, I'm red pilled, this or that. I'm a lot more black pilled than you could probably imagine because
Mhm.
I really don't think the government is the best steward of my money. I don't think giving the government more money for taxes is gonna necessarily even benefit us. But I do agree, if you're a billionaire, you should be actively helping homeless people building stuff, giving places in Africa water. Like Mr. Beast literally does all of this stuff. He's probably helped like a lot more people than a lot more billionaires. I mean, like literally, what is his videos? What is his literal job? His literal job is first he does some stupid gaming videos, game show videos, sure. But he
Yeah.
also does viral videos where he's giving money to homeless, he's building villages, not villages. He's putting water pumps in villages in Africa, and he's a philanthropist. Sorry, that word is sometimes hard to pronounce, but
Yeah, no, you got it right, philanthropist.
that's literally what he does. Like I would say that yeah, if you're a billionaire, you should be giving money away, but like I don't think you should be giving money to the government that's going to pay people $250,000 to do this useless like government job. Or I don't think the government should be paying like senators like $200,000 a year. If you're like in the government, like a senator or something like that, then I think that's kind of ridiculous.
That is
He
funny.
says, "Don't let him fool you. He's a huge Andrew Tate supporter." Is that true, bro?
Me? Oh God,
Yeah.
one. I mean, like I said, I'm not trying to curse, but that nigga is a goddamn terrorist. What the hell? He's freaking out here. What's the term? Out here, he's a
He's
sex trafficker,
emptying
bro.
people.
He's a
He's
sex trafficker. I don't support no
Yeah, he's
type of sex
emptying.
traffickers. You know what I'm saying? I'm not your boy Trump. You know what I mean? If you get anything from us, I'm not Trump. I don't support sex
I think that's
traffickers. I
funny
don't
though. You want
employ
open borders.
pedophiles.
Do you know the
We hate
facts
pedophiles
that with
over my
open
way.
borders, a lot of human trafficking happens when there's open borders situations?
Oh, I don't agree. I don't agree with the
No, I'm not
cartel.
saying you agree with it, but don't you think if there was an open border, a lot more human trafficking would be going on?
I mean, there's a lot of human trafficking right now.
Yeah, no, I know there is. There always is, no matter what. But I think it increases when you have an open border where you don't need to check people that are coming in and out of the country. When you go through a border now, the whole purpose of it is to like talk to the person when they pull up to the border to make sure nothing suspicious is going on. It's not even necessarily about if you're a U.S. citizen or if you're coming in illegally. Yeah, that is a huge thing. But when you're crossing borders, the main thing they're looking for is people that are smuggling humans, smuggling narcotics, mostly smuggling humans because they don't like that kind of shit. And it's not just about having people enter the country illegally. Yeah, that's bad too, but we're talking about women and children. That's pretty disgusting. And
Yeah,
by the way, J Money, I love Speed as a YouTuber, as a streamer. He's like one of the only guys I watch, but
yeah.
he's
Shout out to
nowhere near
Speed.
a billionaire.
Yeah, shout out to Speed. Shout out to Speed though. He's like a goat personally in my eyes. I don't really
Oh,
see
for sure.
a lot of those YouTubers like Kai Cenat and
I don't like
Aiden
Kaiser, I'll
Ross and
be
all of
honest.
them. I don't really fuck with most of them personally, but Speed, I fuck with Speed heavy.
Yeah, Speed is awesome, man.
But
But he's
yeah,
nowhere
going
near a
back on that,
billionaire.
like, yeah, no, he's not even close to a millionaire though. He still be giving out his money and shit on stream. He randomly gave this guy $100 to give him a new drink. Like,
Bro, $100 to Speed is like 99 cents to me and you.
yeah, like I said, it and that's the thing, right? Like, He's not anywhere close to a millionaire. He still gives his money away. All I ask
A
for these
millionaire
people
or a
who
millionaire?
anybody really, like, obviously, like, uh oh wait, you said me a millionaire?
No, I'm saying Speed. You said he's not nowhere close to a millionaire. You mean he's not a millionaire?
I don't know if he's a millionaire. Like I said, I
Oh
don't be
yeah, he's a
pocket watching,
millionaire.
so I
Speed
don't
has a
know. But
Lambo. He has 2 Lamborghinis.
oh yeah, they're probably, I don't even know how much a
He
lamb
has
is.
40 million subscribers. You don't even need half as much as that to be a millionaire. I'm just gonna be honest with you.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, I'm not
He's for
pocket
sure a
watching.
millionaire, but
I
he's
don't
not
know
flexing. He's not
personally.
out here buying $500,000 chains. But he has like a Ronaldo watch that's like $40,000. He has like 2 Lamborghinis and a house.
Oh no, yeah, he probably is a millionaire then. Yeah.
Yeah, he's for sure a millionaire, but he's low key about it. I mean, he has 40 million subscribers. Like he is like in the top 10, maybe top 20 streamers. I guess Kai Cenat is like apparently like the #1 streamer, but
Yeah, but like I'm saying, like, obviously he's a millionaire, right? But that's all really I ask. Like I said, I'm on your side. I don't want to, like, the idea is that, me personally, like, we don't have to be enemies to be on the same side, right? Because at the end of
no,
the
that's how I
day,
respect you.
the true enemies of the people are the people that take advantage of us. That's the true enemy, right?
I'm glad you didn't say billionaire and like, try to generalize all billionaires because I don't believe I mean, sure, some billionaires are evil freaking people. Even some millionaires are evil freaking people. But I hate like the generalization that socialists make. They're like, "Oh, all millionaires and all billionaires and all rich people are evil." But let's
I
be
mean,
real.
like
Everyone
I
wants
said,
to be rich.
like I said before, I personally, like, I don't think I said this before, but I think I said in the chat before. In order for you to make $1 billion, you don't make that in an ethical fashion. Like, you're not ethically making $1 billion, right? Now, someone like Mr.
You don't
Beast,
think
maybe.
Mr. Beast made $1 billion ethically?
Maybe, possibly, maybe for Mr. Beast, like I said, I don't be pocket watching personally. I understand that, right? When you look at someone like I said, Mark Zuckerberg, George Soros, you look at people like Jeff Bezos, Elon
Well, you're
Musk,
literally
big
naming the
example.
most evil
You don't make $1 billion
people.
ethically. So when I say people who take advantage of us, I'm talking about people like that. Obviously, maybe I don't, like I said, I'm not in that dude's pockets, so I don't know if he made it ethically or not. Um, but especially for the people I just named, they definitely don't make it ethically, 100%.
Okay, I have 2 questions. Well, one question actually. First off, I'm going to read this comment. Let's keep it real. Aiden gave him that watch. Yeah, I guess Aiden Ross did give Speed that Ronaldo watch. That's like $50,000 or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah. Then the second thing is like, yeah, I kind of agree with you about Facebook. But what do you think that's unethical about Facebook? I'm just curious. I mean, I know for like my personal reasons why I think it's unethical. But why do you think it is?
Um, I mean, well, obviously we know that he has laid off thousands and thousands of employees. Like, I think a couple years ago during COVID, I think he actually laid off, like, I think the number was like 20 something or 30, or I probably have to look it up. I'm not quite sure, but it was definitely a large majority of workers that he laid off. Obviously, information farming is a huge thing. Privacy issues. He's done things like, I don't even remember. It was that lawsuit that came out claiming that he was stealing metadata. That stuff like that is very,
Yeah, no, I
like,
100%
stealing
agree.
people's private information and selling it to corporations to make more money off of them is
Yeah, that's kind of
extremely
evil.
unethical. Extremely. I don't, and
And I
that's
think Facebook steals information off your phone, even though when you don't give them permission. But one thing I kind of want to touch on is the first thing you said. You said that oh, he fired a bunch of people. What if you can't afford your employees anymore? Does that make you unethical because you can't afford your employees, or it's hurting your business to hire a bunch more people? Like, what if your business is losing money, or what if you literally can't afford your employees anymore? That's unethical to fire them.
as like as me personally, yeah. Like, people, and especially
So
the
what are you
way
supposed
you
to
do
do?
it,
Just keep
a
paying
lot
them
of
and
these
losing
companies
money?
don't warn anyone that they're laying them off or firing them. They just fucking do it.
I
So
mean, I'm
yes,
pretty
I do
sure
think
like when
that's
you get
very
fired
shitty.
from Facebook, I mean, you can look this up, but when you get fired from a company like Facebook, they give you like a severance, like a 6-month severance. They give you 6 months of your salary and lay you off.
Yeah, I mean, okay, yeah, I get that, and then
And what if
and
they
at the
do
end of
give
the
you
day,
like a
they end
month
up making more
notice?
money, and especially like if, or sorry to diverge, we're gonna go back to that, but especially like how it is for most corporations now, right? I don't know if anyone's a gamer in here, but y'all seen a lot of a lot of these corporations like EA, Activision, Ubisoft, people like Microsoft, they're out here laying off employees, and then they're claiming that they're making a lot more money than they claim they do. They're laying off these employees to make their money back to investors to claim, hey, look, we're actually more profitable than we actually are. When in reality, that's not. You guys are not making more. Like, yeah, I'm sure. You see what I'm saying? Like,
I see what
it's
you're saying, but I think now
yeah.
you're starting to border a little bit into communism because I think if you're a productive worker and if you're really that important to a company and you really do make them so much money and you're such an important, valuable asset, then the company will never fire you. If you're the
I mean,
top guy
but
or
now
if you're
I
one
understand
of the
that, but
main
now that kind of
breadwinners.
I feel like now like that, like that kind of in a way like you're blaming employees for getting fired. You know what I mean? Because like in a way, like if I am a good employee and I am doing what I'm supposed to be doing, and I still get fired no matter what, because there are cases where people still get fired even though they do a good job. It's
Of
like,
course, when you're working for Microsoft or one of these companies that are paying you like $1 million a year, if you're making that much money, don't you think you should be going above and beyond what they're paying you for? I mean, like, that is so much money. Like, you got to think if you're making $50,000 a year, it's going to take you 20 years to make $1 million. And you got these people working at 20 years if you're making them the medium wage. I think it's about 20 or 25 years to make $1 million if you're only making 50,000 a year. So yeah, 20 years. You're earning 20 years of the average man's salary working for Unisoft, Activision, Microsoft, whoever. And yeah, you might be doing what they're like, asking you to do. Oh, program this, do this. But if I'm making that much money, you should 100%, be going above and beyond because, like I said, you're making 20 years of the average salary in a single year. Don't you think you should be working above and beyond for that kind of salary? Even a quarter
well,
million, even if it's $150,000, that's still 3 years of the average median salary in the U.S. that you're earning per year. Don't you think you should be going above and beyond? And if they fire you, then shit, you probably should have saved some of that money because a lot of those jobs that you just named, those people are making like a lot of money. Most of them are making more than 150.
yeah. But like I mean, and I get that, right? But we also have to keep this in mind too, that a lot of that money that you do make goes to really important things. Like that would pretty much would mean, all right, cool, right? I can't, and obviously this is stuff that I personally don't care about neither, but obviously most people do, right? I can't get anything to entertain myself. I can't go out. I can't have a social life. I can't have a love life. I can't see my family. I can't do this. I can't do that. I can't have kids, right? It would go against everything that most right wing, conservatives would want an American with their American values, their traditional American values. They want people with, strong family ties and want people with kids and blah 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 and stuff like that. But if I'm constantly working, how am I supposed to be able to take care of my kids? How am I supposed to be able to have a good love life? How am I supposed to be able to have a good connection with my family? Right? These things can't fit together if I'm constantly working, right? And then on top of that, that would pretty much mean that I have to be saving almost all the time. I would probably be living in my car because that's like $100 or most average rent probably in the U.S. for most one bedroom one baths, because obviously I know because I'm looking, is about, I think it would be like 1100, right? So I'm spending 1100 um and rent, right? Cost of living, right? Plus, I got to look at groceries. Groceries has not gone down. Trump has said that he's going to do lower grocery prices. They have not. So you're spending about $250 in groceries, right? Then you look at like my phone bill, right? My phone, I have iPhone 15. My phone bill is about like 82, whatever, right? So $82, right? I'm spending all this money, and you're telling me that I'm supposed to be saving the entire time. It's impossible to save
No, I
all this
100% we
money.
get
You
where
know what
you're
I mean?
coming from,
So, like I
but I
said,
thought
like
we were talking about Microsoft, Activision workers, people that are making $200,000 a year.
yeah,
I'm not talking about the average Joe. 100% where you're coming from. Like if we're talking about an average person getting laid off or cut off, yeah, I think that's
Like
way
like you
way
said,
worse for
and
them.
I'm sorry. Okay, yeah. So that's probably my fault then. So you said that the like game developers they make $200,000 a year.
I mean, they make at least six figures. I'm thinking majority of them.
I'm probably gonna
Am I
look it up
wrong?
because I do not know. That's actually a good question. Because I know how much Andrew Wilson makes. He makes $60 million a year,
Yeah, that's crazy. But like the average
and he
game
does not make
developer,
any games. I'm sorry.
especially for the average game developer, I'm just guessing for like Microsoft, Activision, probably at least a quarter million. I mean, Google estimates can be wrong. Hey, Michael, how are you doing? If you guys want us to talk about anything specific, you can drop a super chat. I'll discuss it, but I'll look through these comments real quick and see if anyone's saying
Yeah,
anything.
I don't mind. Also,
Um,
my apologies. I'm actually doing something, so I cannot turn off my camera. So I know some dude made a really racist remark. He said, "Oh, you can't see me because I'm black." No, I'm actually doing something. So I turned
oh
off
my
my
god, I didn't
thing.
even see
So
that. It's
fuck
fucking
you.
awful.
I hope you die. Yeah.
And GTA 5, of course. We getting
Yes,
ready
and
for
GTA Five.
GTA
I'm sorry,
6?
GTA Six. Shout out GTA Six, man. Oh yeah, I'm definitely getting GTA Six. Or not as a. I obviously I live in Chicago. I'm kind of sad it's not in Chicago because they said they were going to do it, but they didn't. Right? I
My
fuck with
city's
Florida
actually going to be in
heavy,
GTA
especially
6.
Miami. I went to Miami like 2 years ago, or no, actually it was like I think it was 3 or 4 during COVID. And that shit was fucking fun. Like,
How do we get on the talk? You join the Discord, link in bio.
but yeah, no, like I said, you're definitely getting GTA Six. I don't know about when it first comes out, but definitely getting it, 100%.
I hear all kinds of things about GTA 6. I think they're all full of shit for most part, but some people are like, you can get rich with. First off, I heard three things. First off, you'll be able to get rich with GTA 6 because you're going to be able to buy in game stuff instead of, the GTA RP points that you just buy with your debit card or whatever. They're gonna have they're gonna say, oh, you can purchase stuff in GTA with cryptocurrency, and when you'll be able to sell and trade items, and you'll be able to
Yeah,
sell your items for actual money via cryptocurrency, and you'll be able to get rich on G. When you get rich in GTA 6, you'll be able to sell your stuff and be rich in real life.
yeah.
I
No,
don't
like I
know
said,
about
those are
that.
just crypto bros that are just excited to make any type of money off of their stupid ass crypto coins or
I don't
whatever.
think that's even true. I don't think that'll. I think it'll be like the same as GTA 5. That you're not gonna. Like CS:GO. You know that game? Yeah, you can sell
Yeah,
your actual shit for real money.
yeah, I know that. That was shit was crazy.
It's still
People were
going,
out
but
here.
honestly,
People
if
were
I was
out
gonna
here
get into any
lying,
online games,
talking
I would be
about, "Hey, I'm
playing that.
sponsored by this website that you can gamble on it." And they said they might sponsor me, blah blah blah. Meanwhile, they actually owned the fucking business and they owned the website. Talking about they were getting sponsored by it. I remember that. Did you remember? Do you remember that? Right?
Say it again. Sorry.
It was this thing that came out, and they were talking about, or this guy, he pretty much lied and said that this company that he owned was actually sponsoring him. He's pretty much advertising this company that promoted gambling towards children. He was making money off the shit.
Sounds like Aiden Ross.
Yeah, just about. I mean, most of those people too, including your boy Trump too. He's out here selling crypto coins and shit too. So I don't know about
Hey, it's
promoting
okay
it
to
to
sell
children, but
novelty
he's definitely selling it.
cryptocurrency as long as you don't tell people you're gonna get rich overnight with it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a novelty. Anyone can make their own cryptocurrency. No one's been criminally charged. All these
Oh yeah,
celebrities
no, I'm
make
not
their own.
saying that it's illegal. Like you can do whatever you want, but I mean, it's still bullshit.
I mean, shit. That's just hating on another man's hustle, I guess.
I mean, yeah, man, hey, shout out to you. I think what you're doing is bullshit, but shout out to you, man.
Who, me
That's
or
the thing
Trump?
about America. We can say whatever we want. I can
I
say,
know you
hey,
can say whatever you want,
I
but I
think you're.
can say whatever I want too.
Yeah,
Can't
yeah,
I?
yeah.
You
No,
just
I'm not saying you can't. Well, I'm on your side. Like you can say whatever you want, but like I said, I can still say I think it's fucking stupid.
and I can say it's a good hustle.
Yeah, hey, like I said, I said at the start of this, like I believe that you are misled. I believe that most of the people in this chatter is misled, and we're all on the same side because we generally, at the end of the day, we all want better for all of us. That's what my main goal is about getting on here originally. We're all on the same side. So, and in order for us to actually go to or get to a more better place, we have to defeat the people that are
Have
causing the
open
harm.
borders and allow trafficking of children through these borders, just like your plan was, right?
I'm sorry.
I said that way we can allow open borders, so that way more cartel can traffic humans through it, just like you wanted.
I mean, well, the cartel has been. I mean, human trafficking has been a thing since forever.
Yeah, but you
Human
never answered the
trafficking
question.
industry is
Don't
a
you think?
multi-billion-dollar industry. Like they're going to
Yeah,
do
I
human
know,
trafficking
but don't
people
you think
with
when you have a
open borders or
policeman
without.
sitting at the border checking everything, and anyone that's suspicious, he'll check their car? Don't you think that's a little bit that brings a little bit of safety, or are you just against defund the police all in all? I'm just curious at this point.
Well, that's the thing, right? Defunding, yeah, I one to get this off, I do believe that defunding the police is 100% a good thing, right? But
Oh
if
Jesus!
they actually want to protect people, 100%, right? Because if these are people, these people are coming in to cause harm and to kidnap, rape, abuse women or children or anyone for that matter, right? 100%. I do think I'm not against helping people, right?
Well,
I
who's
think
gonna help people if
that
we defund the police? Who's gonna
well,
lock
the
people
police
up
don't
for rape and
the
abuse
police
and
the police don't
huh?
really help anybody, to be honest. Well, for one,
At least they
it's
put
they
people
are
in jail
legally
that grape people. You don't
they
think
le-
you
they
think you don't think that's
legally.
helping people?
I mean, they could have did something to prevent that rape in the first place,
Yeah,
but they didn't.
sometimes they do prevent it. Sometimes, not all the time.
You think exactly? I'm saying the police. You think the police prevent rape almost all the time?
Let's use the word grape, and I never said
Oh, sorry.
almost
I'm
all the
sorry. I'm
time,
sorry.
but
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah, grape. Yeah.
they have prevented they have prevented stuff in the past. And even if they didn't prevent it, even if they're just getting them off the street, at least it's another great person that doesn't have to be walking around down the street. Even if they already did it to someone or not, that's another debate. At least they don't get to walk around free on the street anymore, because if it wasn't for the cops, are you going to go around getting rid of these rapists yourself? Or what would your plan be? Are you going to get rid of these people messing with these children yourself? Or, like, what is your plan to protect the community?
Well, one, it like I said, defund the police is not a top down; it's a bottom up method. In order for the people to defund the one, right? I wanted to clarify this, right? Um, the police are legally obligated not to protect, like like they're not legally obligated, but they're legally allowed to not protect anybody, right? I don't remember the exact case, but I believe a woman was assaulted and then murdered by her stalker, and then the family went after the
One bad
police.
police, one rotten egg does not give a great
No, 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 no,
example
no, no,
to
no,
get
no.
rid of
This
all
is this is
police.
actual. This is actually written inside of their code of conducts, whatever.
Even
Right? The
if it is
police
written, even if they can do whatever they want,
are legally
that is
allowed to
not a
not
good
protect
excuse to get
anybody.
rid of
We look
police
like,
that
for
are
instance,
putting
right?
rapists in prison.
We look.
Who's gonna put these rapists and murderers in prison if the police don't? Are you gonna put them in prison? Are you gonna get them? Are you gonna exterminate them permanently, or what's your plan?
I mean, well, like I said personally, I would want a a center where people who are completely unable to be rehabilitated. Well, personally, me personally, if you grape anybody, I think you should just die. I think you should just get shot. If you're proven to do it. Um,
I agree
but
with you there, but are you
if
going to go around doing that? Probably not. Is the average Joe going to
in
go
this
around
bottom in
doing
the
that?
bottom up method, I would implicate to a center where these people are held at and they're kept away. Like I do believe like certain people like um PDF files, people like rapists, um other types of individuals who do really bad,
Should
like
be put in the wood
extremely
chipper.
bad
They should be
thing.
put in the wood chipper. We
Yeah,
agree
I
there,
do.
but
I'm
that's
I'm
not
agree with you.
answering the
Yeah, right.
question.
But if
If we
this,
get rid of the police, no one is going to get rid of these people. No one is going to get rid of these people.
well, yeah,
People
and there's
nowadays aren't even
like
getting
I'm
rid of these
saying,
people.
it's a bottom up method. I'm not trying to
You
completely
keep saying
eradicate the
bottom up
police.
method. What does that mean? Does that mean you're not getting rid of all the police, just some of them? I'm
No,
confused.
it would be reforming different systems that negatively affect people and negatively have lead to negative outcomes, and then eventually it would lead to the point where eventually the idea of the police would not really need to exist.
That's never gonna happen. That's like the idea of the border never. That's like the idea that, oh, we can just let open borders, no more criminals, no bad people are gonna come on. Yeah, bro. I wish we lived in a perfect world where we didn't need borders,
Well,
but that's
obviously
never
that.
gonna
Well,
happen. Yes, I agree with you. If we had a perfect world, it would be awesome. If we
I
didn't
mean,
need to
it's
show
not
our
even an idea
passports.
of a perfect world. It's a safer one. It can be safer. It can
And
be a
not even in
place
a
where
safer
people.
world. There's no safe world. The safe world doesn't exist. It never
I
will
mean,
exist.
obviously not. It's not a safe world, right? I'm talking about safer, right? Obviously, there's going to be violence
No, it
everywhere.
can't be
People are
safer.
going to grape. There's going to be PDF files everywhere. It is what it's going to. It is what it is, right?
So we should
There's
get rid
people
of
who are
police
going.
so these people can walk around more. That's what you're saying, basically.
No, I'm saying that there needs to be a way to prevent these people from doing what they're
But
doing.
there's never going to be a way
I
to
don't think you're
prevent it.
hearing. I
What
don't
do
think you're
you
hearing what I'm
suggest?
saying.
You got a solution to get rid of police and prevent crimes from happening? That's what I'm trying to get at here.
Yes, I do believe that obviously um, most crimes are a large majority of crime is backed by poverty. So obviously things like robbing, theft, stuff like that, we can try to eliminate that by uh, actually helping people like
There's always going to be
income
poverty.
wise. I'm sorry.
I said there's not a country on this earth where there isn't poverty.
Well, obviously because no one's doing this method.
So people
That's
will
what I'm
always
saying.
rob. Even in communist places, even in communist Russia, people were still robbing and stealing.
I mean, well, it wasn't Russia wasn't communist. It was like they were capitalists there, but
What?
it was capitalist. Yes,
During it was capitalist when during the Soviet Union.
yes, it was capitalist. Yes,
No one's ever said that before. I've never heard that one
and
before.
then and then also and that's the
There was
thing,
no
right?
free
When
market.
we
How
talk,
was it capitalist? You couldn't have a business that wasn't owned by the state or the government. How is that capitalist?
there were there were
You mean
businesses
state
that
ran
actually existed.
capitalism? It wasn't even state ran capitalism. There was no capitalism.
I mean, there were
There was
capitalists,
no
yeah, and that's the
innovation.
thing that I wanted to say too. A lot of people who obviously bring up Soviet Russia don't know the ideals about it, or don't know most of the like most of because everyone brings up, oh, people were starving there. There was a lot of murder. It was this. It was that. A lot of those things were all compiled up during most of the stuff that was taking place at that time, right?
Yes, that is true, but and no history books in high school or any colleges do they call Soviet Russia capitalist.
Well, yeah, they were capitalists there, yes, but no one is not going to specifically say, oh, because there was capitalists or there was like, and that's the thing too, right? Soviet Russia or the Soviet
Not just
Union was
Russia, every
demonized, has been
country.
demonized for a majority
Listen, I'm not here to
of history
demonize
for
it. I'm just
years
here
and
to
years
talk
and
about
years.
the
Yeah, well, no,
facts.
obviously not you, but it has been demonized in history books by the U.S. government for years, right? I
Yeah,
can talk
okay,
to
we
you
can agree
about
on that,
how
but the
most civil
facts are
rights.
it was communist in every single country that was a part of the Soviet Union. It wasn't just Russia. It was Romania. Maybe it wasn't Romania. I think it was Romania, Moldova, it was all the surrounding countries. I believe Belarus. I think Ukraine. I honestly don't even remember which all countries were a part of the Soviet Union, but a large amount of countries outside of Russia were a part of the Soviet Union, and all these countries were indeed communist. That's why a lot of people left these communist countries to escape communism, so they can go into a free market and start free market businesses that weren't involved with the state or had state regulations. And I'm pretty sure a lot of businesses, especially when there was like full blown capitalists, couldn't even start. Not even if the state
Romania,
ran.
I don't think
Like,
Romania. I don't remember Romania being part of the Soviet Union. A
well,
union,
which
and that's
countries were in the Soviet Union?
I
I know.
believe it
Actually,
was
no. Excuse
Russia.
me.
I
Excuse me.
believe,
Romania was communist. It has a communist history. I don't think it was part of the Soviet Union.
yeah, but like I said,
But what countries were? Do you know? Since you know so much
that
about
were communists at that time.
that were a part of the Soviet Union. What countries were a part of the Soviet Union?
Um, I'm not the most educated on what type of countries that were still involved. Because I know the Soviet Union was massive, and a lot of those countries broke off. Like Ukraine at one point in time broke off, and then uh, Chech, Chech, I don't even know how to
Chechnya.
Chechnya, yeah, stuff like that. Dagestan, obviously, a bunch of different countries broke off from the Soviet Union. I like I said, I'm not the most educated, but I believe it was those
But you
countries.
believe it was
Um,
capitalism, even though you're reading
oh no,
history books.
it was definitely capitalism. It was state capitalism, yes.
State
Just like because
capitalism.
okay, then that's the thing, right? All right, we can say this, right? Or and I know most of the Trump supporters all know this, and especially a lot of people in the comments, right? North Korea is labeled as a uh it calls themselves the Democratic Party of North Korea, right? Or something like that. Do you think North Korea is a democracy or are they ruled by an authoritarian?
Most people say that it is a communist country.
But they're ruled by a Democrat. By is a democracy though.
It's not a democracy. There's no. It's fake. That's just
But
what
do you
Kim
see what
Jong
I'm
Un
saying
calls
though?
it.
But do you see what I'm saying though? It just because they say it is that doesn't mean that it is that, right? That's what I'm talking about. I think it's Democratic. I don't remember the exact name, but it's called the DPRK. Just like how the China is too. I think China labels themselves as the uh, as a socialist, as communist, but they're capitalist too. Oh, I can't hear you. Is my phone fucked up?
No, sorry, I accidentally hit the mute button. Did you
Oh,
say that Russia was state communism or state capitalism?
state
You said state
capitalist,
capitalism.
state capitalist.
No, nowhere on Google or nowhere online does it say it was state capitalism. So you're telling me all these sources are fake, basically?
Which where who's saying them? Are they
I just looked.
blogs or
I just looked up
are they
on
articles
Google.
or are these or are
No,
they
I just looked
actually
up on
just
Google. Was Russia a communist state ran, or should I? What should I type in? Communist or
is
capitalist?
is was
Capitalist.
Soviet
Was
Russia
so
state capitalist?
okay. Also, I'm going to refer to this one comment. Why do you wear that hat? He won. We don't care. If you don't care, then why even drop this comment? What's the point? I'm just showing that I support this man. Why like what do you mean we don't care? I don't even know how to respond. Is there any questions that you actually want us to talk about? Because he's a leftist, I'm MAGA. We can talk about something, but I don't really understand the point of that comment.
Yeah, like I said,
State
China is a
ran capitalist.
yeah. China labels themselves as socialists, but are
No,
communists,
they're
but they're
definitely
clearly not
state ran.
communists because they're capitalist.
They're state ran capitalist or communist.
Is that what it said? And that's where did you get that
No, I
source
don't
from?
know, but I think that's what they are.
Mm. Yeah, but like I said, and that's the thing too. Like a large majority of the United States actively demonized Soviet Russia because during the '60s and the '70s, Russia was our biggest enemy at the time, and especially a lot of these leftist civil rights groups. I think the American Indians or AIM, American Indian Movement, the Black Panther Party, a couple other things. They were being idolized by the Soviet Union at that time, and the American government fucking despised that. So in order to pretty much, in a way, like defeat communism, they they in a way they eliminated a lot of these movements that were going on, like this, like the
Wasn't the Black Panthers a socialist group?
yeah, they were socialists. Yes.
I mean, it was literally called the USSR. You know what the USSR stands for?
I I don't remember exactly.
Union of Soviet Socialist Republics. I'm reading on Wikipedia about it. Let's see what it says.
Hold on, give me 1 second. I'm sorry.
Do you guys have any questions, comments, anything you guys want to talk about? We can answer it from different perspectives. I know I'm on Wikipedia right now. I'm just reading about Russia. I don't understand how it could be a state capitalism. I'm looking it up. I've heard about state capitalism before, but I don't understand if they followed Marxism, how could they be state capitalists? That's what I'm trying to research, but I haven't seen anything confirming it or denying it. But that just means they control production at a state level. That doesn't mean they were a free market capitalism. I mean, state capitalism is basically like
Yeah, I wanted to
communism or
read
very
this
close to
comment
communism.
that Frenchie said, because Frenchie, I don't know if you're a guy or girl or they, I don't know, I don't want to seem a gender, but this person said capitalism leads to fascism and the fascism leads to imperialism. That is 100% a fact. Yeah.
Well, I do believe that the United States is
Oh,
a little
yeah.
bit imperialistic, but I do not believe that they were a fascist country. And also talking about,
I mean, you don't
I know you
think, I
said,
mean, obviously not. I mean, you're a Trump supporter. You don't think Trump is a fascist, but Trump has hit every 14 of the tenets of fascists
what
or
is
fascism.
fascism?
So I'm gonna have to look it up because I don't remember the exact
So
definition.
people
But
that
I
basically
know for a
don't
fact
have
what you're
any
wearing on your head
broad
is
clue of
definitely
what
one of
fascism is
one of the
are calling it
biggest. I know
fascist.
what you're wearing on your head is actually one of the biggest tenets of fascism.
But you don't know what actual fascism is. But this hat is fascism, but you don't know what fascism is. That's very interesting.
Well, yeah, I remember most of
But
the tenets. I just don't remember the definition.
by the way, the one party state that the government was governed by was called the Communist Party of the Soviet Union. So their literal political party was called the Communist Party of the Soviet Union. So yeah, I mean a lot of their stuff was they were a flagship communist state. Yeah, you can say that it was somewhat
Hold on, I'm gonna be back. I'm gonna go get
capitalist.
my because I feel like I came into this a little bit ill informed. Hold on.
Wearing a hat is fascist? Yeah, I guess that's one of the tenets of being fascist, apparently. But we don't know what it means, but we know that this is a part of the fascism, this hat. Because, Hitler and his buddies, they wore hats too, so that must mean that this is like fascism. If you guys have any questions, comments, anything you want us to discuss, drop some super chats. You have a question? Drop a super chat. We'll discuss it. Give control to corporations. Fascism. That's what it stands for, huh?
Okay, I'm back now. Sorry about that. I got my
No, you're
laptop.
good. I
I
have the
can't. I came in this
definition right in
extremely
front of me.
ill-informed. My bad. I'm gonna look
No, it's
up
okay. I'll tell you about
the
fascism since I'm the
the
expert on it, apparently, according to you.
14 tenets of fascism.
Let me tell you the definition before you get into that. Fascism is a far right, authoritarian, ultra nationalistic political ideology movement that arose around in the early 20th century Europe. It is characterized by strong nationalism, dictator power. By the way, if you want to go into what a dictator is and what dictator power is, that's basically, I can give you a short definition of that one. Absolute of power and authority, which Trump obviously does not have that. So that's one of the
You
ways
don't.
that
I'll one last
Trump
time.
is
Stop. So
is not
you don't
fascist.
believe that
Huh?
Trump holds this ability, or at least the want to have complete control and power?
Well, first off, your claims are that Trump is a fascist.
Well,
I'm
yeah,
not saying if he wants to
he
be.
meets every 14. Yes, so
You don't know
ideally,
what the
yes, is a
definition of a
fascist. Yes.
fascist is, though. I don't know what this 14 is, but I know there's a factual definition. And one of the things in the definition he doesn't meet is dictator power.
Well,
He
not
doesn't
well,
have. I mean,
obviously
you
not
can
that.
say he wants something. That's a theory. That's your own opinion in
I
theory.
mean,
I don't
there's
know what Trump
multiple
wants.
cases
You
of him
don't know Trump.
actually
I don't know
forcing
Trump.
his hand to do it, forcing people's hand to do it. Yes,
I
he's
mean, he's the
openly.
president. His literal job is to get things passed and done.
The only thing that stops him currently is the
Is the fact that we're not a
is
fascist country and there is no
well, no, we
fascism in
are
the
definitely
United
a fascist
States.
company. But what
That's
I'm
why we
saying
have the
is
separation of powers.
the house, it's the house,
Yeah.
it's the
Yeah, that's the separation of
yeah,
powers. That's the three branches of
the
government.
other two branches literally prevent him from
Yes.
doing what he wants. But he's openly and like defied their word every time. Like
I don't know what
especially
that means, but he
yeah,
doesn't
he's
have
so
unlimited dictator power. He doesn't have dictatorship power.
I mean, yeah, now obviously that is yes, but he does have the want and he has done things where he's openly
Okay, the
defied their
want
word
isn't
multiple times.
facts. That's just assumptions. That's not
Wait,
factual. That
hold
is
on,
just
stop. It's
assumptions.
not an assumption. So you think so when
No, I'm
he
not saying
so
I'm not claiming I know what Trump wants because I would never
so
make
when the Supreme
accusations or
Court
claims of what someone wants or wants to be.
when the Supreme Court told him to bring back Kilmar Abrego Garcia because he is openly
And he said he'll try to bring him back. And isn't he back
he
now? Yeah,
well
he
yeah
is
he's
back.
back
So
now after multiple months of him
okay,
saying he can't do it
yeah.
even though
He tried
everyone
to do it. He
said
talked to the
that
president of El Salvador. He said, "No,
everyone
I'm not
has
bringing
said that
back a
all it took was a
terrorist."
phone call. It literally was a phone call. He would have brought him back.
He talked directly to the president in person on camera. He said no. Either way, he did what they wanted him to do. So that's not really a good talking point. But let's
I
go
don't
on to the rest of the
think.
definition. There's more
Okay, sure.
definitions than just dictator power. Suppression of oppositions. You got an example of how Trump has suppressed his
Yeah.
opposition?
Well, he's openly and fuck, I forgot. Well, obviously journalist. He's openly
How has he suppressed journalists? They
he
make
did. So
articles
hold
about
on,
him
yeah,
all the time.
stop. So he has rejected well, he said he was going to sue Wall Street Journal.
Suing
Uh,
people is not suppressing them.
well,
That's
yeah,
not
he's
accurate.
suppressing the truth. Yes, that is
No,
that's
suing
suppression.
someone is a financial gain. That's not suppressing someone. They can say whatever they want about him. They have
It
freedom of
so
speech.
when they report factual facts with evidence based off of stuff that he
They
did
didn't
and
have
he's
evidence.
saying
That's why
I'm
they're
going
getting
to sue
sued. If they
you
had evidence, they wouldn't be getting sued.
I'm going to sue you for um publishing the truth. You
What
think
truth?
that's I gotta look
What
it up.
truth?
You're making me look up all
Fir-
this shit.
First off, give me an example of the truth they've published. Are you talking about the birthday letter they claimed they had, but they never showed you? Was that one of the truths?
They did show it.
Okay, Google it right now. Tell me if you see a birthday letter because I've been searching all over Google. I never saw a
Trump's
photo of this
birthday
birthday letter.
letter.
I searched all over Google. I did not see a photo or a picture of this birthday letter. They don't show you because they don't have it because it's fake. And suing people is not suppression of the press. So you're completely wrong there.
That
But
is
let's move
definitely
on to the
suppression of
next
the
thing.
press.
Let's move on to the next thing. It's not because they can still make art. They're still making articles about him actively. How is he suppressing them? He's suing them for defamation for making fake news about him and defaming him.
Yeah,
That is not suppression.
Epstein.
That is not suppression. Okay, let's move on to the next definition.
Wall Street Journal birthday letter
I
to
think the
Epstein
only thing
board.
that he actually fits
Trump's
into the
signature
definition.
drawing of a naked woman.
Yeah, I read
A
that, but they
collection of
never
letters
showed the
gifted
article. They
50th
never showed
birthday.
it because that's defamation. When you don't show proof and someone sues you for not having evidence against them, that is defamation. You will lose in court. 2 media companies already settled with Trump because they didn't want it to go to court and they didn't want to lose the lawsuit in court or have to show any actual evidence or proof. I guarantee you they will not go to court. They're going to end up settling with Trump for a couple million. Okay, let's move on to the next thing. As I was saying, the militaristic approach. I would argue this would be one of your main talking points. Trump has a militaristic approach. Okay, cool. Every president has that. But that is a
I mean,
part of
he's definitely way more
good at
enthusiastic
stopping
about it. But
wars than
yes,
Biden or any other president. He stopped about 4 wars. Thank you,
you said he
President Trump.
stopped 4 wars, or he
Yes, would you
prevented
like to go
most,
over them?
or he's caused most of them. Is that what you're saying?
What wars did he cause? Tell me.
Well, directly caused the, what did he say, the 12-day war or something like that, the
12-day conflict.
Israel and Iran war.
First off, he didn't cause that. Israel
So he didn't
attacked
bomb. So he
Iran
didn't
first.
bomb Iran. He didn't bomb Iran after they got bombed by Israel.
Yeah, we did bomb Iran. We ended a war. That wasn't even a war. That was
That
a
wasn't the
conflict.
ending of anything because Iran's kept bombing Israel after. That it
Well,
wasn't the
they've
end
been
of
on a
anything.
ceasefire for about a month now. We can look that up too if you want.
Yes, because they okay. Like I said, a ceasefire doesn't equate to him stopping a war. You started the one
Okay,
and then
there's been
stopped it.
no
Congrats.
conflicts for
Like,
over a month
I mean,
now.
if you're saying that he started a war and then stopped it, then yeah, I mean, I guess I'll give you I give you that. I
You
guess.
give me that one? He didn't. First off, didn't Iran attack Israel first?
Well, Israel attacked
Oh no, I'm
Iran
sorry.
first.
Israel attacked Iran first. So who started the war? Israel, right?
Yes. And then
So
we and
how did
then
he
we all
start the war? You just
and
admitted.
then we sent missiles on top of that
Yeah,
after that because
we didn't harm
Israel
any.
sent Israel started a preemptive strike, which it
We
was not
shot
preemptive
missiles and
because
0 civilians died. You realize that, right? Well, actually, no.
so
The
was that
first
it
one
was
was
an I
no, that
think it
was
was a
Israel
photo
actually.
right.
But when we attacked the nuclear facility, 0 Iranian civilians got murdered or killed. Not even
Wait,
military
so
died.
I mean, just because civilians or anyone didn't die doesn't mean it's not an act of war. If someone came in your house and shat in your floor
Well,
unprovoked, would you not want to
technically,
be like you? Wouldn't you not be mad? Yeah, sure, you didn't hurt nobody, but
no,
they
I would be
fucked up your
mad. But
floor.
technically, I don't know if you know this, but declarations of war have to be signed by Congress and they have to be made. Like, this was not a declaration of war. This was just some conflicts back and forth. But maybe we could also count this for not ending a war. But either way you want to look at it, I mean, this was a conflict that Trump did not start and he ended it.
I
Like you
mean, I
admitted.
guess he. I mean, I'll give you that. I guess he
Okay,
definitely
you'll give me
did.
one.
He maybe
We
he
got
didn't.
one.
Okay, yeah, sure.
We
There's
got one.
that.
Okay, let's
There
continue with the next
obviously
ones.
obviously he didn't stop. Definitely did not stop the Ukraine and Russia
Yeah,
war.
okay, yeah, we
He
know
did
that.
not stop
But
that one.
there's
That one's
also
still
things
actively
called
going.
hyperbole.
The
There's things called hyperbole. When you
Iran and
say you're going to do
Pakistan.
something quickly, when you say you're going to do something quickly, or like when you say you're something going to do something fast, you say, "Oh, give me 1 minute." If you don't do it exactly 1 minute later, does that mean you're a liar, or does that mean you're just going to do it quickly? Because that's what hyperbole is.
I'm sorry. Can you repeat what you're saying?
Like, when your family or someone or your friends say, "Hey, can you do this for me?" You're like, "All right, give me 1 minute," and like 5 minutes pass by, and you do it in 5 minutes instead. Does that make you like a liar, or you're like using hyperbole, like saying you're gonna get it done quickly?
No, I don't. I don't. I do believe that it is hyperbole, but I also feel when you do the exact opposite, then yes, you are in fact a liar. Like, let's
He's
say, like for
trying to
instance,
end the
right?
war.
Let's
I
say,
mean,
like,
wouldn't
okay, let's use
I
your
know you love
example,
Joe
right?
Biden, but
I
can you
said,
agree
hey,
on
I'm gonna
this?
go. Let me go get my laptop real quick. I'll be back, right? And instead of me being back, I just fucking quit the stream. Is that not? That is me
Yeah,
intentionally
but
lying to
he's
you? Is it not?
actively brought Ukraine and Putin to the table multiple times to discuss ending the war. Did Joe Biden one time do a ceasefire between Gaza or Israel? Did he one time try to
Well, no,
discuss with
because
Netanyahu?
the Democrats and the Republicans are both being lobbied by Israel.
Yeah, okay, that's another
They are
discussion. But did Trump do a ceasefire with Gaza? Yes, he brought Netanyahu to the table and tried to end the
they didn't do no
conflict.
they didn't do a ceasefire.
There was
They're still
Yeah, I
bombing
know the
Gaza now.
ceasefire
They're
ended. The
starving Gaza
ceasefire
now.
ended. He had a ceasefire. Biden never even did a 1 week ceasefire. He
Well,
never
yeah, because
negotiated.
like I said before, the Democrats and the Republicans are both being lobbied by
No, I
Israel.
understand that, but that doesn't matter. You're saying both sides are against them. Okay, cool. But Trump did negotiate with Israel and Palestine. Biden never did that. Did Biden never talk to Russia or Zelensky about ending that war? No, he never talked to them. He never brought them to the negotiation table
Well,
because
no, there was an embargo placed. He did place an
an
embargo
embargo is not a
on Russia.
negotiation.
it maybe okay, yeah, like I said, yeah, sure, you can't you're not going to negotiate with them. Neither has Trump. Trump has not negotiated with Putin to
Yes,
stop
he
the
has.
war.
He's called Putin on the phone multiple times and almost ended the war. Putin's the one that acts like he's about to end it. Same with the Russian or the Ukrainian guy. He acts like he's gonna come to a conclusion with Russia and Ukraine, and then he just doesn't do it and just continues the conflict. Both of them are doing the exact same thing, but the main talking point here is that Trump has brought in both Israel and Russia to negotiations and talking points, and Biden never did that. He never even the only thing he did was send Israel more money and send Ukraine more money. He never even attempted to try to bring negotiations of peace. He just said, "Okay, here's more money, Israel. Here's more money, Ukraine. Keep going at it." That seems like a president that wants war and that doesn't want to negotiate. Like he's not even trying to. He didn't once have them. You know how, I mean, you can say this is horrible and fucked up, but you know how he brought the president of Ukraine to the White House to negotiate, trying to solve this war? Yeah, that never happened under Joe Biden. He never tried to negotiate ending the war. He never tried to get a Netanyahu to negotiate ending the war or anything like that. He's just like, here's more money, guys. Here, keep going with your conflicts. Like he wasn't the negotiating president of what happened. It's Vladimir Zelensky, yeah. His name is so hard to pronounce, but he disappeared. If you guys have any questions, comments, let me know if you guys have any questions. Let me know. Drop some super chats, guys. I think he'll try to jump back in. I think his phone just started overheating again. I just didn't want to say his. I said the Ukrainian president, not the Ukrainian guy. Guys, if you have any questions, comments, anything you want me to talk about, you can drop some super chats. We're open to discuss and talk about it. If anyone wants to be on the live stream, you can join the link in bio. If you guys have any questions, comments, anything you want me to talk about, you can drop some super chats. I'm open to talking about whatever you guys want while we wait for him to join back. If he does join back, I think he's just having a connection issue, to be honest with you. But I'm open to talk about whatever you guys like. Sorry, I didn't know your precious Ukrainian president's name. I'm sorry, Michael. Any more questions you guys want answered? Let's talk about La Boo Boo. Why the hell do you guys want to talk about that? How do I rejoin? Click the link. Click the link again. Click the same link. You can rejoin again. Just click the link I sent you the first time.
I'm so sorry. My
No, you're
phone
good.
died, dog. What the fuck? My bad, man. But yeah, no, my phone died like shit.
Damn. Should have kept it plugged in.
Yeah, no, none of my shit's plugged in now. It is what it is. My fault.
But yeah, as I was saying, Biden never brought anyone to negotiation tables. And you sound like you're anti-war and anti-Israel.
Yes.
You'll be defending Biden, saying, "Oh, he did such a
Well,
great
no, I'm
job."
not. I said this. I said this before early in the stream. I do not like Biden at all. I'm not a Biden. I'm not. I don't like Biden. I don't like Trump. I don't like Kamala. I definitely don't like fucking Barack Obama. Like, I don't like Bush. I don't like any of our presidents. Like, literally none of them.
What was your favorite one out of them you all just mentioned?
My favorite. I mean, I don't know. They called Obama the what is it called? The
The
angel of
Great
death.
Deporter.
The angel of death or something like that, because he's bombed so many goddamn fucking Afghani children and women. over the entire span of the like the last remaining half of the
presidency.
yeah, like so obviously definitely I don't know about him. Definitely not Trump. Definitely I mean Kamala's cool, I guess, but I mean like I said, I just don't like their stance about Israel. But like they pretty much openly said we're just gonna let this genocide keep don't letting the genocide keep happening. It is what it is. They just didn't
My
care
guy,
about
that's my
richness.
entire point. It's not just with
Um,
Israel or Palestine. They weren't trying to negotiate any kinds of deals whatsoever with any countries. Do you want to keep going through the list of
but that's what
conflicts
I'm
that
saying though.
Trump
If
has
they didn't
ended?
negotiate any deals with anybody, yeah, sure, you can say maybe Trump tried to negotiate, but trying to and then
He's
actually
ended
doing the
4 or
direct
5
opposite is
conflicts.
completely different. Like I don't really see that as doing any type of
At least you're
negotiation.
trying, but he's ended 4 or 5 conflicts. We've already admitted to one. But would
So
you like to keep going down the list?
I definitely don't believe that, but okay, go ahead.
You said you did believe it. You said, okay, I'll give it
Well,
to you. The
okay, yeah,
conflict
maybe
ended.
the Iran and the Iran and Israel one, sure, I guess,
Okay,
but
you guess. So that counts as one. Do you want to keep going down the list? I have lots of other ones I'd like to talk about.
yeah, I have a couple. I'm have them up here too.
Okay, tell me about some then.
Okay, so the 14 characteristics: powerful and continuing nationalism, disdain for the recognition of human rights, identification of enemies and scapegoats as a unifying cause, supremacy of military, rampant sexism, controlled mass media, obsession with national
The
security.
mass media is controlled by the left's narrative. I don't know what you're saying. Trump controls the mass
You hold
media
on,
now.
no, stop. You think that
No,
the
I know.
left controls media?
Yeah, it doesn't matter if it's Fox News or any news. They're all controlled by the left. Yes.
I I don't know.
90% of the
Most
news out
I'd
there
say
is
I want you
by
to
the
understand
left.
something, right? The reason for why Trump won in a landslide is mainly
Is because he
because of
had
media. Is
policies and
mainly
Kamala had
because
no
of media.
policies.
Especially well, one, Trump didn't have policy. They asked him, what is your policies?" And he straight up said, "I have thoughts. I have
He
what does he
named a
say? He have
shit
thoughts
ton
and
of
ideas. I have
policies.
concepts and
I
ideas
can
of
name you 10 or 20 Trump policies. I can't name you more than
I
3
mean,
Kamala
I
policies.
find that kind of shocking that you know his
Here, name
policies,
me
but Trump
5
didn't know his
Kamala
policies.
policies right now. Name me 5 Kamala
So
policies.
I remember one where she said that she wanted to increase the the amount, I think, tax breaks given to small businesses. I
I
remember she
never
said
heard that.
she wanted to increase the fuck, what was it called? I don't remember the like child tax things or give out
That
um
was Trump's policy that she
child
stole.
tax things or something like that. I mean, I like I said,
Trump increased the child
Trump
tax
says that he
credit. That's
has
a stolen
ideas and
policy.
concepts. He had ideas and concepts of
No,
policies.
the child tax credit, Trump has already
Yes,
implemented that. She stole that from him, just like she
when
stole the no tax on tips. Trump said no tax on tips, and then a week later she said, "Guys, I have an original
yeah,
nice
no tax
idea to
on
tell
tips for
you."
anyone making more than $25,000 a year.
I don't think that's true either. A lot of
That is
disinformation.
definitely true. That was in the big beautiful bill. That
For
stupid ass.
anyone making more than 25,000 a year, say that statement again.
So he said that if you make more than $25,000 a year, $25,000 a year, you do not have any taxes on your tips. So it doesn't even uh uh fuck. I lost my train of thought.
99% of people that work at restaurants and places like that are making more than $25,000 a year. And second off, if you make under $15,000 a year, you're not filing taxes anyway because you don't meet the minimum threshold to file taxes. You can Google that right now if you want.
Well, yeah, I know that. Yeah, I know that. Yeah.
So I really don't understand your point. And also, that's not even true. But the thing I heard was that you only get no tax on tips to up to $25,000 in tips. That's the maximum amount of no taxes on tips you can have. That's what I heard. And this wasn't even from Trump or the big beautiful bill. This is one of the Democrats. They were complaining to me saying, "Oh, you only get no tax on tips for up to $25,000 worth of tips."
The rules are sending cuts permanent. It also includes provisions for increased speeding,
Here, look,
increased
this guy
spending.
commented it. Deduction limit. Eligible employees can deduct up to $25,000 in qualifying tips from their taxable income each year. Yeah, you're confused.
I don't think that's true. I gotta look. I'm looking at
That
it
would make
right
no
now.
sense. You're telling me if you make 20 grand that you have to pay taxes on your tips, but if you make 15 grand, you get to pay no taxes at all. That makes just zero sense to me. And even if it was only if you make $25,000 a year, I mean, every single person, I don't care if you're working at freaking Walmart or you're working at 7-Eleven, if you're working 40 hours a week, I'm pretty sure you'll be making more than $25,000 a year.
Well, yeah, this is mainly, well, one, Walmart doesn't receive any taxes or doesn't receive any tips. So you don't get any tips working at Walmart.
No, I know, but I know you don't get tips, obviously. But I'm
Yeah.
saying, like, if you work any kind of, like, job that is, if you even work minimum wage, we can do the math. I mean, even if you're getting, I can do the math right now. I'll tell you if you're gonna make more than $25,000 a year if you're working 40 hours a week. Let's say the minimum wage is even something lower than it is in most states. Let's say it's $8. 8 times 40. That's $320 a week times 4. Maybe you won't make 20 grand. Yeah, you won't make 20 grand. Yeah, no, you're making poverty money. You're not paying taxes at all. But like if you're in Florida, I think the minimum. What is the minimum wage in Florida? Even I have no clue. I think it's like $15 an hour. 15 times 40. Yeah, see, if you make the minimum wage in Florida, you're making more than $25,000 a year.
The deduction phases out taxpayers with higher incomes beginning
And
at a
yes, I
modified
heard that this no tax on tips is getting rid of in 2028. It's a voting. It's it's something to vote for. Like if you vote for another person that wants this to reinstate this, then yeah, it's a voting point.
eligibility. Both itemizing and non-itemizing taxpayers must have a valid Social Security number to qualify for. No shit.
But yeah, even if you're making the minimum wage in Florida, if you work 40 hours a week, you're making more than 25,000 a year. But that's not even
Oh
what it
yeah, well
says.
yeah, I know that. I mean, especially here in Georgia, I make 20. I work 40 hours a week, and at 8 hours a week for the most part. When I get paid, and my check is well over. I make well over $25,000 a year. Yeah. So, but that the bill is mainly talking about is mainly for people who work at restaurants, bar backs, bartenders, stuff like that.
Anyway, I'll let you look this up, and then I think I'm gonna wrap it up, or
Yeah.
wrap it up for a couple minutes, and then I'm gonna see if anyone else wants to join, maybe
Yeah, no,
in
that's
like 20 or
fine.
30 minutes.
Um, but I do want to go through the rest of this rampant
Fascism thing,
sexism.
sure.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
religion and government are intertwined.
They're not
Corporate
intertwined, but okay.
what I'm reading it right here. It says
No,
religion
I'm just
and
telling you
government.
that's not what Trump does. That's not like
You
he
don't
didn't
think
put.
you don't think that religion and government, what he's doing, are intertwined with, or at least what he wants is
What does he
intertwined.
want? Please tell me. What does he want? Because it's not currently
You
intertwined.
don't think
No.
that the how he intertwines both governmental or religion, things like God and stuff like that, with the religion, the separation of church and state. You don't believe that's something
How
that
does he
he's
do that? How does he intertwine government with religion? Is it because he prays, or what is
No,
the issue?
that's not that's not at all. It says right here that governments in fascist nations tend to use the most common religion in the nation, which is Christianity, as a tool to manipulate public opinion. Religious
Okay, how
religious
is he
religious
manipulating
rhetoric,
public opinion? So because
terminology.
he's a Christian man, you're saying he's manipulating people. That's not valid
Well,
either.
yeah, he's using the tool of Christianity to manipulate most people, which is
How is
why
he
he's
manipulating them? What is he manipulating them to do?
to be on the side of good or the right side. You don't think that that's something that
No, I don't think they're
you
manipulating
don't think
him.
that he meets that criteria to a T?
No, because he's always been a Christian man. Look at
Just
his
because he's always
history.
been a Christian doesn't mean, yeah, sure, you can still be a Christian, but once you're in a form of government, the highest position in the
So
land,
you're telling me he
and
shouldn't be
also
praying because he's
tying
manipulating
religion
people?
with most of the things that you want to do in the government doesn't meet, you don't think that doesn't meet an ideal of fascism?
No, because the first thing you said was that he's mixing government with religion. First off, he's not mixing government with religion. Then the second thing, when I debunked your first theory, you said, "Oh, he's trying to manipulate people by being a Christian." Well, how is he trying to manipulate people when he's always been a Christian? You just want him to pray in his private life. He's not allowed to pray
Well,
in
he can do
government
whatever
meetings.
he can do whatever he wants. I'm saying when we're losing the most common
People,
religion.
that's
Most
what
Americans in
you're
the United
saying.
States are Christians, right? I
Is that a fact now?
Most of them, I would believe, yes.
I think a lot of people have swayed away from religion. I think you might be wrong statistically on that one.
I mean, well,
There's also
let's say this. Let's say his base, because me personally, I don't really consider myself a
okay.
Christian. I
That's
grew up,
another thing. We
yes, his
couldn't
base.
attack it with the most of America. Now we have to attack him with most of his base because most
I
of
mean,
Americans
50,
probably isn't
50
Christian.
more than 50% of the United States voted for Trump. So that I'd say that's half or most. Would you not
So you
agree
want me
that
to look up how
more?
much of the
You don't agree
USA
that
is
most of
Christian?
you don't you can if you want, but you don't believe that most of you don't think more than 50 is most.
Yeah, but yeah, sure. That most of the people voted for Trump. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, more if it's most people. If I'm saying most is mainly it's more than 50.
Okay, you're right. The majority of American is Christian, but what does that have to do with anything? That even prove
Using
if
he's using
67% of America is already Christian, how is he manipulating them? He's always been Christian.
he's using Christianity as a tool to manipulate public opinion.
So you're telling me if you're president, you shouldn't be allowed to pray? Just say that. Just say
I'm
it.
not saying. Did I ever say that?
That is what you're saying. That's the only thing he's
I grew
doing.
up in a
He's not
Christian house.
manipulating
No,
anyone.
no, 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 no. You're not gonna do that. I grew up in a Christian household. My grandmother was a avid
So if
Christian.
Biden
My
prays
mother
just
is an
like Trump
avid
is doing,
Christian.
is that
Well, no,
manipulating people?
because Biden did not use Christianity as a tool to make
Be-
people feel like they're not on their good side of
how
the.
does Trump make it a tool to make you feel like you're not on the right side? Tell me how he does that.
I remember January 6th. I believe he said. Um, I think I don't remember exactly like the quote exactly, but he said something along the lines of uh I'm on the same topic, I'm not pivoting. He said something along the lines of I don't
This
remember the
country
exact
was
quote,
built by
but
Christians. You can't even give an example of how he's
well
manipulating
I
people
don't
with
remember the quote,
Christianity.
but I do remember what happened. It was January 6th.
Okay,
He said a
cool. So
quote
you
on
don't have an
January 6th.
example, you don't have any evidence, but Trump is manipulating people because he prays in government meetings.
I mean,
But
sure.
Biden
Like
can
I
do
said,
it. Biden can tell you he's a Christian. Biden
I'm
can
not
come
gonna
on stage and say, "Guys, I'm a Christian man. I grew
yeah,
up in a."
Biden has not used it as a tool to make people feel like they're on the good side or not.
I mean, I would argue if you're arguing Trump does, I would argue he does the same thing.
No, I don't. Is there? If you're okay, cool. You're telling me to bring up something. I don't have anything that
I
claim
don't
there's.
think that
Yes.
either one of them do
Do
that.
you
But
have
with your
evidence to claim that he is that if okay, cool. If Trump doesn't fit this and Biden fits this, is there a quote? Is there something that he
Yeah,
did
there
to
is
where
a
he fits
quote.
this?
Biden said, like, I'm a Christian man. I grew up in a little small town in Delaware. I wouldn't consider that manipulation, but by your standards, yeah, that would be manipulation.
Telling
But I don't,
somebody where he's from and his ideals is manipulation. I didn't say that.
apparently to you it is.
That was not what I said. That's
Well, you
not what I
couldn't
said
give
at
an
all.
example. That's why it's not what you said, because you couldn't give an example.
I literally
But
just
here,
said
let's go
if
on to
you're
the next
making
thing.
people
We've debunked the first one. What other
okay,
fascist things does he fit
all
into?
right, whatever. So okay, cool. You said you debunked both of them, so I guess maybe one
Let's
and
move on
eight.
to the next way
You
how
have
he's
two, three,
fascist.
4, 5, 6, and 7 that you is what
He's fascist because he's Christian. So what else? What else do you got? Why else is he
all right,
fascist?
cool. I guess whatever you say. Corporate power is protected. Labor power is suppressed.
Labor
Uh,
power hasn't been suppressed and corporate power hasn't been protected. He's gone after some corporations. If you
Ooh,
give me a second, I can think about it.
no. That is not true at all. You don't think that a lot of these corporations have gotten richer under Trump, or are
Here's
going
an
to get richer
example
under
how
Trump.
Trump didn't protect corporations. You want an example?
Dude,
I can give you an
actually, no. Hold
example.
on. Stop. He helped a fucking billionaire get into seat. Elon Musk was in freaking was in government
Elon helped
meetings,
him
high
become
off fuck. He was
president.
high on ketamine in the
Another
Oval
thing you don't
Office.
have
Are you
evidence
kidding
of.
me? Are you kidding
Another
me?
another piece of proof that you have zero evidence of. These are
He was high
assumptions.
on ketamine. He's on ketamine.
This
Everybody
is
knows
your
he's on ketamine.
opinion.
His actual opinion said he was on. His
By
own
the way, just in
employees
case you
said he was
didn't
on
know,
ketamine.
ketamine is legal.
He's still on drugs. Like, I mean, okay, I
Okay?
guess. Like, what? He's high as shit
Ketamine
on
therapy is
ketamine. He's
legal.
high as hell on ketamine in the global
Now, that is
Oval
an
Office,
assumption. That is
and
an
he's a
assumption.
billionaire. And he's a billionaire.
That's an
And this said
assumption.
billionaire helped deregulate tons of different
Okay, tell
of
us how Elon
laws
made
that
money
were
off Trump, and then I'll tell you how it's bullshit
his
and how
government
Elon
contracts,
actually lost money. Huh?
his government
Trump
contracts.
canceled his government contracts. He canceled the tax write-offs for electric vehicles like Tesla, and that's why Elon got pissed and started saying a bunch of bullshit about Trump. What are you talking about? That's exactly why Elon got mad at Trump, because he canceled his government contracts and his write-offs. Trump literally tweeted on Truth Social, "Oh, you want to talk shit about me? Eh? I'm canceling all of your government contracts." So tell me again how Trump is helping Elon, and how Biden literally helped Elon more than
Well,
Trump
yeah, he
did.
did help Elon, and then eventually Elon, pretty much spazzed out and was like, "Yeah, your boy, Trump is on the Epstein files."
That
So,
was after Trump cut his government contracts and cut his tax write-offs.
Elon,
That is a fact. That is indeed a fact. But let's move on to the next one. I like I said, I don't want to talk all night. Tell me the other points you really want to break out. I'll give you like 4 or 5 minutes if that's okay.
I mean, yeah, sure, that's fine. Obviously, labor power, disdain for intellectuals and the arts.
Disdain for what intellectuals? You talking about Hunter
Har-
Biden's poo-poo paintings? Is that an
no,
intellectual?
no, Harvard
Who?
and fuck Columbia.
So you think Harvard should be funded by billions of dollars in our taxpayer money when they're already charging people $70,000 a year
All
to go to
schools are
school?
funded by tax dollars, all of
That's
them.
not correct. Here's an example. Private schools that are, private middle schools, private high schools, I don't think they receive any government funding. And I think that's the same for a lot of private institutions as well. Harvard and Columbia are just the number one receivers of government money. And even if every university did take money from the government, I still don't think that they should. Especially if they're like a private institution like Harvard that's charging people $70,000, $80,000 a year.
I mean, like I said, look, one, this is
And second
because of the
off, how
fact,
is that a
and this is
disdain
because of
for
the fact, yeah,
intellectuals?
but
That's
also
not
I
a
want you to
disdain.
understand this is because of the fact that Harvard was actively a
That
lot of the
they're
students
supporting
on
Hamas and
Harvard
terrorist.
actively was protesting against the genocide that's going on in Gaza, and because of this, he threatened to take away the funding from Harvard. Yes, it was exactly that. Oh yeah, no, oh yeah, so he definitely fits that on number 11. And he did the same. He there's not. I don't remember. I remember seeing a lot of
Disdain
those.
for intellectuals personally. That's a disdain against the public, uh, teaching
You don't.
organization
So you
that's
don't believe
stealing
that
government
Harvard. You
money.
don't believe that Harvard is full of intellectuals.
Yeah, it is, but a lot of them, it's not a disdain against a personal intellectual. You didn't say an organization or a group or anything like that. But
Fascist
either
nations
way,
tend to
how is
promote
it a
and tolerate
disdain?
open
They can
hostility
pay and fund
to higher
themselves. They can.
education and academia. It is not uncommon for professors and other
Tell me
shit
why they
academics
need you,
to be
my
censored or
taxpayer
even
money.
arrested. Free
Why
expression
should
in the
you and
arts is
me
openly
tell me this?
attacked.
Why should me and you pay for schools when that we don't even go to? How does that make any sense? Don't you think we should defund all of these universities that are charging people that much money that are so expensive? Yeah, we can pay for universities where it's cheaper or it's free, or like community colleges, but we should not be paying for private universities where the rich people go. You claim that you hate billionaires and that you're so against these evil people that are taking from us that are billionaires. Meanwhile, you're defending Harvard, which is
Yeah, because
literally
I'm
full
for
of
higher education.
billionaires.
Higher education is very important because it helps inform you about stuff.
Okay, this is
Yes, I
funded
am
by
very for
billionaires that
things
are
like
using.
Harvard.
These people are billionaires,
I
and
feel
they're
like, and this is the
using
thing,
your
right?
money. They're using
Trump
the
supporters
millionaires
hate
and the
the
lower
idea of
class
wanting to
money.
become smarter. I've come to the conclusion of this because
Huh?
for some reason you guys don't like smart people.
You think just because you go to Harvard that you're an instant genius? Is that
You
what you
have to be
think?
pretty fucking smart to get in Harvard.
What about you never heard of all these rich kids that their parents have connections to Harvard and they're like billionaires and they just get in because their parents went there and they're billionaires? You never heard of that?
Yeah. A lot of these legacy children actually like a lot of that has been fixed. Most people who are
A
in
lot of
Harvard
it has been
actually
fixed. That's
go to
bullshit.
Harvard
No,
now.
it hasn't. When did it get fixed? What year was this fixed? Please tell me.
It was a while ago. I remember
A
this.
while ago, but no specifics, no details, nothing. Well, either way you
Yeah,
look at
I
it,
don't.
there's
I
a
don't remember.
lot
Yeah,
of
sure. Because
legacy. Basically, you can
you don't
pay to get
remember a
in
lot of
there. You
different
can
things.
basically pay someone or know someone, and you can get into these universities.
I mean,
You don't
that's a
have to
lot
be
of
a
things with
genius
the world in
intellectual.
general. It's not about what you do; it's about what you
And
know.
even if
That's
you
the most.
test high on, even if you test high in a math exam, doesn't mean you're the most intellectual guy around.
You don't think? I, I mean,
No, I don't. I've seen actual dumbasses that have gone to
well, I mean,
Harvard.
and this thing, right? Okay, maybe you got this there because I know people
Maybe
who
you're
are
good at
lawyers
maths,
that
and maybe
are
you're dumbass
stupid, right?
about
But
everything
there's a
else.
difference between book smart and street smart. Yeah, sure, they might be
And
street
also,
dumb,
you can
but
literally
they're
pay
very
someone to
book
take
smart.
your tests. Nowadays, in 2025, all these college students and high school students are all using Chat GPT, cheating.
You can pay someone to take your SAT.
Exactly.
I don't think that's true.
I mean, I don't think
I
you can do it anymore because it's a lot harder than it used to be. But back in the day, especially like in the 80s and the 90s, yeah, you could for sure.
I
If
okay.
you have like a twin
I don't.
brother or something like that,
We're
who
talking about
knows?
now, though. I'm talking about now. You can't charge. You can't pay anybody to take your ACT. You can't charge anybody to take your SAT. These guys are, yeah, sure. They might not be street smart, but they're definitely incredibly book smart. And especially with what they
I
talk about, the Israel Palestine incident. Yes, he felt some type of way with them. Uh, People who are clearly very smart, book smart wise, talking about something that was happening, like an actual genocide. He took offense to that, and he defunded these people. He also
That's
defunded
not what happened.
Colombia.
There
He
was
defunded
literal
Colombia
Hamas
for doing
people.
the
There was
same
people
exact
in
thing.
Kufa. Do you
He's
know what a
done
Kufa
this.
is?
Trump, exactly. Shout out to Cherry Bomb. My bad, Cherry Bomb, because
Kufa is
I
a
wanted to say too,
representation.
like
It's like
like
a
I said,
scarf that
I
members
came
of
into this
Hamas wear.
I came into this extremely like ill prepared. I mean, maybe like next time I get into one of these, I'll be more prepared. But Cherry Bomb has been lighting me up saying she wants to come up here. But
Who's
yeah,
Cherry Bomb?
uh, I don't know. I believe this is a girl. I'm not quite sure. I don't want to assume your gender, but yeah, this is right. Trump loves the poorly educated because you guys aren't gonna question anything he says.
You're literally admitted to being poorly
Oh yeah,
educated on
that's
all
literally
these
a quote. He
topics.
actually said that. That's a literal quote.
No,
Oh shit.
I'm not arguing that, but you've literally admitted to being poorly educated on about every single topic. But you want to say
No, I mean
Trump
some of
loves
these
poor.
topics I was very educated on.
You said I'm a
Israel.
dumbass. I'm sorry. I don't know. You said that about 10 or 20 times.
No, I only said about like two, three. I said about
Even two
the
or three times, you've admitted to being one of these quote unquote uneducated people.
me saying that I'm uneducated with a
Either
couple
way,
things
I've
means that
never
I'm
seen
immediately
Trump
just
say
dumb
that.
now.
Maybe he did, maybe
Me
he
not
didn't.
knowing
But
some, you've heard it here. Me not knowing about a couple different things mean I'm stupid about everything. I guess whatever.
no, I never
It is
said
what it
that.
is.
I'm just repeating your own words back to you. I don't
I
think
said
it's
that I
stupid
was
at all.
uneducated. I'm uneducated in a couple of like the obviously the big bill thing, the big beautiful bill. I do know a couple of them. It does increase the spending of like general spending, even though he was planned on spending less, he's actually spending more. I know stuff about that sort of stuff, right? But as far as everything
Anything
else,
else?
some of the
Not
stuff
so
I
much.
do, I am very much educated on.
All
Um,
right. Either way,
right.
man, just
But
relax. I'm not calling you stupid or
no.
anything
It's
like
fine.
that.
It's fine. It's fine. I'm just saying, like, yeah, I'm just saying, right? Obsession with crime and punishment, rampant cronyism and corruption, and fraudulent elections.
You think Trump's election was fraudulent?
Are we really gonna do this?
I don't think we should do this because I have better things I can talk about.
It was one. It was proven that it was in fact very fraudulent, or it was not very fraudulent. Sorry, it was very fair. It was proven in court. It was said by Rudy Giuliani and
Who
Mike
are we
Pence.
talking about? 2024 or 2020?
2020, yes.
Okay, well, you're saying Trump's election was very fraudulent. Isn't that what you just said?
No, it was very fair, and he claims it is fraudulent.
And what was the definition you were reading?
So it says right here, sometimes elections in fascist nations are a complete sham. Other times, elections are manipulated by smear campaigns against or even assassination of opposition candidates or
So how did he
opposition
do any of
candidates.
that? How does he fit into that
Uh,
definition? I'm confused.
so you don't remember him sending people to Mike Pence's house?
No, I know what you're saying in 2020, but I'm saying how did he do any of that stuff that you're talking about?
Well, that I mean, well,
He
obviously
didn't overthrow any elections. He didn't. No elections were faked, according to you. And I don't know, man. I just don't see how he's fitting that definition either.
he
But
definitely fits that definition. But I mean, it is what it is. Like I said, I said this in the beginning of the stream. I am not anyone's enemy. I'm on y'all's side, right? I do believe that you guys are very misled. You guys are being misled by a notorious liar. He's
and
extremely
you think
stupid,
Biden never
extremely.
lied to you? That's hilarious.
No. I'm not saying that either. Biden definitely lies. Like I said, I'm a true leftist.
Biden is a
I'm
notorious
not an
liar.
anti-left. I'm not
Harris
an
is a
anti-left
notorious
centralist.
liar.
I am not an anti-left centralist. I am a true leftist. I do not agree with most of the stuff that, or I don't even like Biden, to be honest. I actually, the
But you
last election,
praised him
2020,
multiple
in
times in
2020,
chat.
I actually wrote in Bernie Sanders. The last three elections, I wrote in Bernie Sanders.
Oh my God. What about Bernie Sanders 2028?
He's probably gonna be dead by then. I'm gonna be honest,
Okay.
but
Okay.
next election, I might write in Zoran Mamdani.
Oh my God, bro. That is very leftist. He's not even a United States citizen.
He is a citizen. He was born here. See, now
He
that
was not born here. He was born in Uganda. I Googled this the other day.
Zoran Mamdani.
Yeah, he was born in Uganda.
So if I look up where he was born at,
Yes, look it up right now. He was born in Uganda.
Zoran Mamdani.
So if he wasn't born in the U.S., would you still write his name in?
I mean, there's people. I mean, well, yeah, okay, I see it right here. He was born in Uganda, and he
Okay,
was raised
exactly. He
in
was
the
not
United
born in the
States in New
U.S.
York City.
He
He
lived.
did. He did in fact get his citizenship. So
Yeah,
he is a
obviously
citizen
he's a
of the United
citizen. He's
States.
running for mayor, but he's not a natural born citizen. He can't run for
I mean,
president.
neither is Elon Musk, and Elon Musk was high as
Yeah, but I
hell in
would
the Oval
never vote
Office.
for
So
Elon. I'm not going to write his name
you
in. And
did
Elon,
vote for Elon.
I didn't
Voting
vote for
for Trump,
Elon.
vote you
I
did.
like Elon, but I didn't vote for him.
Yes, you
And
did.
also,
Voting for
Elon's
Trump
not
means you
going to
voted for
run.
Elon.
Elon's not going to run in 2028, so I don't know what you're saying.
Let's hope not, because that would be
But you would probably
fucking
write
travesty.
a non-U.S. natural born citizen's name in the thing. That's cool.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, like I said, if Bernie Sanders is alive, then sure, I'll write him in again.
Oh,
But he's probably not going to be alive in 2028. So,
prayers for him.
and then for this election currently going on in Georgia, because I know the primaries are coming up in Georgia. There's uh, I believe there is a socialist running in Georgia
Oh
for
Jesus.
I'm probably gonna vote for her. I believe it's her. I'm quite sure. Look it up.
Anyway, guys, I appreciate you joining in. Hit that like, subscribe button, and I appreciate you joining, my friend. We can do this again sometime. Maybe we can do
Yeah.
both some more
Next
research.
time I will. Yeah, I'm gonna do a lot more research. I'm not. This
Yeah,
is my
same here.
first debate. Actually, this is my first time like actually like formal. Like I guess like not kind of not formal, but
This
in a
is
way
not too
formal debate.
formal. Yeah, this is just casual.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't have any sort of research or any sort of documentation, so I'm gonna have to do some more research. But like I said before in the beginning of the stream, like a couple minutes ago, I'm on you
I
guys'
know we're
side.
so misinformed. Yada yada
Yes,
yada. You're on the same team.
And
You're very true.
my bad at Cherry Bomb. I'm sorry. I don't
If you
know.
guys want to join the
I'm
Discord,
sorry, man.
Cherry Bomb, you should join the Discord. Your buddy right here is in the Discord. Link in the bio.
We can convert the Discord, man. You just got to pull up.
Man, we don't have to convert the Discord. The Discord is like 70% anti-Trumpers. We don't have to convert anyone else.
Oh no, yeah, I forgot that other guy. Yeah, me and him. Yeah.
Other guy, like every single person in there is anti-Trump. But
No,
they're
there's
not they're
some.
not Democrats and they're not socialists either though. They just don't like
Yeah,
Trump.
they're just liberals. Yeah. I
Or
mean, hey,
there's
if
some of them
fighting
are
fat,
Republicans
I
too.
accept anyone who tries to fight fascism at any given
Fight
point.
fascism. Crying your eyes out and doing debates on YouTube is not fighting fascism. Just so everyone
I
knows
mean,
that out there.
like I said, I mean, I haven't cried this
No,
entire
I'm
time.
not saying you specifically. I'm just saying that any leftist liberals out there crying or being upset or whining or peacefully protesting or making videos on TikTok, you're not fighting anything. Just so you know.
Yeah,
I'm
you
not
gotta
saying
be
you.
out
I'm
there
just
in the
saying for everyone out there.
yeah, you gotta be out there in the field, man. You gotta be really out there protesting
Nah,
against
protesting
Trump.
does nothing, buddy.
You
No
have to
regime,
vote in your
no president,
primaries.
no government
Um,
has ever been overthrown in history, and nothing has ever been changed by a peaceful protest. That is
yeah,
facts.
so it has to. Hey, one of my, I actually have it written on my guitar. Actually, those who make these peaceful revolution impossible make violent revolution inevitable. So we're trying to do it peacefully, but if not, then it is what it is. But I don't condone violence. But if whatever happens, happens.
All right.
So
Well,
yeah,
have a nice evening, bro.
you
I'm
too,
gonna
man.
jump off the live stream. Thank you for joining once again. Thanks for your time.
No problem.
Appreciate it.
I'll see you.
See you. Bye.